Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast, the heart of the fan.
This is Braves Live, presented by your local Toyota dealer. We got the brooms and dustpan in hand as we look for the sweep of our first opponent out of the break. The Angels will be on the receiving end of it after they've been dominated thus far. Ian Anderson's getting the call, and the offense is once again looking to support after taking full advantage of the opportunities presented in games 1 and 2. Game 3 on the way in just a little bit, but it's right now Trevor Scales and Nick Green saying what's going on and what's happening from the Battery at Truist Park. And after you've dominated the Angels for the first time since 2014 here in the city of Atlanta, Nick, you're also a half game behind the Mets in the division. Got to take advantage now.
Yeah, it feels pretty good to know that you're half game out of first place in the NL East. The Mets have not been playing great baseball in this second half. And by the way, the Padres have a chance to sweep them today with Joe Musgrove on the mound. So if the Braves can take care of business, 3 games out of the break, you could be in first place, but you have to finish the job against a team in the LA Angels that are not very good right now.
You talk about the ground that's been made up over the course of the winning streak that began on June 1 and even beyond that into July. The offense figuring things out has been a large part about that. And Austin Riley exhibits that perfectly. 15-game hit streak extends his career long.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat well for quite a while now, and just extending that streak to 15 games is huge. He's hit in 19 of 20. He has 13 multi-hit games over that stretch. I love the way he did it last night. First pitch fastball in his first at-bat, a bullet to center field. Then he gets a changeup up in the zone, hits it to left, his second at-bat. And how about the hanging slider? 3-2 count. Yeah, we'll forget about that check swing. I know a lot of people won't, but we will. 28th home run of the season for Austin Riley, 3 for 4 last night with the home run. He's at 63 RBIs on the season as well, but he's just done such a great job of just continuing to improve, and the numbers are absolutely incredible.
His inside look brought to you by the Toyota Tundra as it stands within the NL. He's second in homers, third in OPS, and first in total bases. And during this streak, he's been a man possessed. A .435 average and a 1366 OPS in the last 15 tilts. And his 27 hits, 8 big flies, and 13 extra base hits all lead the majors. This is the second consecutive year, Nick, that he's made, obviously, the late push for the All-Star break, but also MVP conversations.
Yeah, and you talked to me 2 weeks ago, and I'm saying, okay, nah, he's not there yet. The average isn't there, but he's increased his average over the last 20 games from 250 to 292. So he's getting it done as far as average is concerned. He's going to be pushing 300 by the end of the year. I love the way that he's making adjustments during at-bats. We saw it last night on the check swing. It was a fastball up in the zone. He was jumping. Then he waits back on the slider and just demolishes it for a home run. We saw him in game 1. Slider, fastball in versus Ohtani, and he makes that adjustment. But this guy, he's spraying the ball to all fields. He's hitting all pitches, fastball, slider, off speed. It doesn't matter. And when you talk about MVP, by the way, he's raised the OPS up to 939 now, which is third in the NL. I still think that Goldschmidt's probably the front runner because of everything he does as far as average, home runs, RBIs, and defense as well. But if he falters at all, Austin Riley could be in that picture, and I think you're going to see him get MVP votes for sure.
And Riley's perfectly capable of playing that top-tier level of defense as well. He's dialed in, to say the least, and Kelly Kroll spoke to him as much post-game after last night's win.
So last season was a great one for you. 33 home runs total. You're at 28 now here tonight, and we're barely halfway through the season. Did you do anything different to kind of get to that power swing that you knew you always had?
No, same routine. Continue to work on it. Like I said, try to get better each and every day. I felt like, early on in the season, I was able to put some good swings together, and I felt like last year that's where I would start off a little slow. So I hadn't changed. Just like I said, trying to work every day, continue to try to make that swing as consistent as possible.
Well, and just in, Mets lost tonight. You guys are a half game back in the division.
Hey, we're coming for them.
Yeah, the Mets will be wise to recognize that the Braves are running up on them here in the standings. Again, just a half game back after our win and their loss last night. The Mets series with the Padres concludes later this evening, as Nick mentioned, so we'll certainly be scoreboard watching throughout the night. All this macro type of conversation gets us to our Delta Ask the Analyst question. We're welcoming in Brian Jordan from the booth in the process, and I want to do something a little different today. I'm going to ask y'all for a little live list on Braves Live. Looking for the storylines you're most excited for entering the back half of this 2022 season, BJ.
Well, you know what? Forget about the league. I concentrate on the Atlanta Braves, and what I'm watching for in this second half is my man Strider. Can he continue to get better, continue to command that fastball and dominate, and be more consistent, get through 6-7 innings? I'm watching out for that. Now, my second one, Michael Harris II. Ever since he came to the Braves big league ball club, this team has been a different team, and to watch him continue to make adjustments every game, I'm going to watch and see if he just takes off in this second half. He's letting the ball get deep. He's starting to figure it out, and I'm so confident in that kid. He impresses me every single day. And I guess my third one is Acuna. You know, he has come off ACL, and for a young kid, you want to come back the way you were. You want to start out right out of the box and be that same player. And I think he's putting too much pressure on himself mentally. And I want to see him get over that hurdle and continue to be the Ronald Acuna we expect him to be.
BJ, I agree with you with those guys especially. And I'm looking at three things. NL Rookie of the Year race is going to be fun to watch. Strider, Michael Harris are the two front runners right now. Last week, FanDuel's had Strider as a plus 170. They had Harris as a plus 200. So those guys, hopefully one of those guys takes off and wins that Rookie of the Year. The trade deadline, too, is important for me. What's Alex Anthopoulos going to do? It's August 2nd. Alex in 2019 added 3 relievers. Last year, he added 3 outfielders. What's he going to do this year? I feel like there has to be some bullpen help along the way. I know Kirby Yates is coming back, but I feel like one more arm would be huge for the back end of that bullpen. And also, what happens with Juan Soto? Does he get traded before August 2nd? I don't know what's going to happen there, but that should be fun to watch as well as far as the big picture is concerned. And then how about the NL East race? Who's going to win this NL East? I think it's so important that you win it if you're the Atlanta Braves, because the top 2 teams as far as records are concerned, division winners, they're going to advance to the second round of the playoffs. They get a bye. And if you are the wild card team, and even though you might have the third best record, you're not going to advance and get that bye. So I think it's important the Braves win the NL East. And by the way, BJ, I thought this was interesting too. The Mets are in first place all but one day this year. Last year, they were in first place for 103 days, and they had a losing record. So I don't know where the Mets are going to fall here, but I think it's just so important the Braves win the NL East.
And BJ, I want to step in because I want to take one of Nick's points and put your Braves-specific spin on it. That trade deadline that Nick mentioned, and you mentioned off of the top the moves that Alex Anthopoulos could make, but it doesn't feel as though he needs to make as many moves as in years past. It might be just a subtle addition as opposed to the big splashes that we wound up having over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I really don't think it's going to be a big splash this year. I agree with Nick. You know, I think with Yates coming back, that's going to help the bullpen, but I think we need that power arm right-hander out of the bullpen. And I'm quite sure Alex Anthopoulos is looking around the league to bring that guy in. Now, as far as the position players, I just think we're in a good situation. You know, it all depends on whether Albies going to come back in September. Will we add him? That's going to be just like a trade, getting him back. And will Arcia hold up? Can Robinson Cano stay healthy and help this ball club in the second half? That's the big questions I think Alex Anthopoulos is going to have to answer, but I don't see a big splash happening like last year.
Regardless, it should be a whole lot of fun as the Braves look to make yet another NL East divisional run. BJ, appreciate the time as always, brother. Have a great call.
All right, have a good show, guys.
Now, BJ and Nick Green were both taking part in this Alumni Home Run Derby that we have coming up. Nick Green will be behind the dish. BJ will be at the dish, swinging for the fences. Saturday, July 30th, 5:30 p.m. Eastern is when it all goes down right here on Braves Live on Bally Sports Southeast and the Bally Sports app. We're continuing to roll on here on Braves Live. Dansby Swanson doing his thing as of late, so we got to get him some love. We're taking you right up to first pitch for the series finale between the Braves and Halos next.
To the action.
You gotta be kidding me.
Closer to the big blast.
Way, way, way out of here.
Closer to the great grabs.
Took a home run away.
Closer to the jaw-dropping plays.
Unbelievable.
With more highlights.
He struck him out.
More analysis.
You're going to see athleticism like you've never seen before.
And more live look-ins.
Wow.
Nobody gets you closer to the game.
Every night.
Only on MLB Network.
Live is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. Braves looking for the sweep here today at Truist Park, trying to send the Halos home sad. We got an all-star left side of the infield to celebrate here on Braves Live. Trevor Scales, Nick Green with you outside on the Battery. And moving just inwards towards the middle a little bit is to Dansby Swanson, who we know is electrifying defensively, Nick. But what he's done offensively in clutch moments lately, phenomenal.
Well, he's been a clutch player his entire career. Now, consistency has been a problem for him, and he's done a much better job this year of being consistent at the plate, understanding his swing, understanding that he can't hit with two strikes. I think that's important for him, but not panicking either when he gets there. When you have a swing like Dansby's where he can inside out a ball on the inside part of the plate, you feel good about him using the entire field. And as fast as his hands are on the inside pitch, you know he's going to turn inside. So now where do you pitch him? If you go soft inside, he can inside at you. If you go hard in there, he can turn on you, and he can drive the ball the other way as well. But what he's done with 2 outs and 2 strikes has been absolutely incredible this year. 48 two-strike hits, 9 home runs with 2 strikes, average running scoring position with 2 strikes, average runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Those are phenomenal numbers. And if you aren't a confident player and confident in who you are, you don't want to get to 2 strikes, and you're not going to have success when you do get there. Dansby Swanson is that guy who has a ton of confidence in himself right now and his swing and loves to be in that big moment.
And you see it night in and night out. That stuff is contagious. But guys feed off of him, feeding off of the moment, and it just sort of trickles down. Regardless, that brother is not slowing down on or off the diamond. And that is courtesy of his wife, Mallory Pugh, who was a part of the women's national team, soccer-wise. Kelly Crow caught up with him and his whole travel dynamic after the game yesterday.
I want to hear about the whole experience, but first, the travel. Just start there with how you got from Washington to, of course, meeting Mal.
Yeah, so in short, I had 4 flights in 4 days. After the game in D.C., flew back to Atlanta with some of the guys on the team, and then had a flight at 9:45 on Monday morning to go down to Monterrey, Mexico. For anybody that doesn't know, Mallory had their CONCACAF championship on Monday. So that was at 9 p.m. So I flew down there, got there around lunchtime, and then had a car take me to their hotel. Spent all day at the hotel, seeing her, seeing some of her teammates. Thankfully, one of her best friends is playing soccer down in Monterey. So when Mal had to go, I went and spent time with her, and we went to the game and stuff together. Got back to the hotel around 12:30 that night, 1 o'clock, and had a car to take us to the airport at 3:30 in the morning. So yeah, got about 2 hours of sleep. Flew from Monterey to Tucson to clear customs. So we got there at like, I don't know, 6 a.m. and then flew from there to L.A. Landed in L.A., got to the hotel around 7:30 in the morning, and then started getting ready for the day. And then, so we did all that, had the All-Star game. It was obviously fantastic. Got to see my folks, got to see her folks, and then obviously spend time with her. One of my best friends was out there too, so it was just a lot of good quality time with my peeps. And then the next morning she had a shoot with Gatorade. So she did that, and then we flew back to Atlanta. So, yeah, it was a whirlwind, but very, 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 very thankful that I got to do it. I think just being able to see her, like, in those moments was just truly, like, a blessing. Like, it couldn't have worked out any better for us. So very thankful. Money well spent and time well spent.
Worth every penny, worth every minute of not getting sleep. But your biggest takeaway, just from the whole experience, the group you were with this time, the coaching staff being out there, it had to be special.
Yeah, that's why just getting to know guys that you play against that you don't really know a lot about. You hear things about whatever. Just being able to experience that with guys from other teams was really neat. I feel like we share such a special bond. Obviously, it's competitive on the field, but there's such a special bond from what we feel like each other accomplishes and stuff like that. So it was definitely neat.
Let me tell you, Mallory and Dansby, two cats at the top of their game, moving accordingly. Ian Anderson's got the start today. He's found a little something lately, unbeaten in the month of July, and we're hoping to keep him that way. We're wrapping up the series against the Angels here on Bally Sports. Soon, John.
Evan Longoria, a guy last year who was one of the catalysts to a surprising Giants team.
Meet Evan Longoria. He's watching MLB Network.
Dude, Longo's hitting with big-time power. Still that
because that's what baseball fans do.
Right, here we go, Longo, 2022.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
That ball is gone! It is caught! Oh, what a catch by Trout! The Cubs have finally won it all! The Atlanta Braves are world champions!
presented by your local Toyota dealer. Braves, Angels, game 3 of 3 here at Truist Park, going down a little bit. Ian Anderson steadily been taking steps in the right direction recently. We'll have to see what he can do against the team he's never faced before in the Angels. Bringing us to our Comcast Business starting pitching matchup for today. The rookie Reid Detmers getting the start for LA, 23 years old, and he's just looking to get the ball in play and let his defense work. Ian's looking for win number 9 on the season as he totes a 2.30 ERA this month. Nick, he's still trying to reach that 6th-inning hurdle, though, but taking steps in that direction.
Yeah, he's definitely been heading in the right direction. That's what you want to see. I thought he did a pretty nice job against Washington last time out. This fastball was a little bit sporadic, up in the zone at times, as far as hit and miss with getting ahead. He wasn't great at that, but the fact is he didn't make mistakes with the fastball. And if he has a good changeup, he can get away with some mistakes with the fastball. I thought the changeup was outstanding last time out. He's got to stay at the top or bottom of the zone, and last time out, he was fastball up, changeup down, so he's changing eye levels really well. If he could do that again today against a team that doesn't swing the bats well, and he has that good changeup on, he should be just fine.
You hope to build some more confidence in a guy like Ian, especially in a series like this. Let's go ahead and get the brooms out for him. But in any case, let's pivot over to Reid Detmers, who, if his name sounds familiar, that is the rookie who threw a no-hit bid, Nick, with just 2 strikeouts. It was the oddest thing in a very different time for the Los Angeles Angels mentally.
Yeah, 12-0 win against Tampa Bay. This back when they were playing pretty good baseball out in LA. 11th career start. He was a 10th overall pick out of Louisville in 2020. 108 pitches, which was a career high for him. The crazy part about this, with the 2 strikeouts, a 219 game, so he pitched to contact, but he didn't throw many sliders. He threw a lot of changeups today. It might be a completely different story because he's throwing way more sliders and changeups now, but credit to him. 11th start of his career, a no-hitter. Good for you, and that's just an incredible accomplishment.
In summation, a whole lot of things have changed for the Angels as of late, but we ain't even got to talk about that. We're just going to pivot over to the lineup for these respective teams for our matchup for today, beginning with the visiting Angels. Shohei Ohtani is the guy we're always going to lock in on, especially in the leadoff position. He had the hardest hit ball by a country mile last night, Nick, but the Angels have now lost 6 straight games in which he goes yard.
Yeah, he and Rengifo are the only 2 hitting in this lineup, and Shohei's actually struggled a little bit recently too. This ball was not a bad pitch. Change up down, absolutely destroyed to right field. 110 off the bat. We know exactly what he can do. He has 20 home runs, 57 RBIs. He's unbelievable as a pitcher. He's a freak, and we know that. He's the one guy in this lineup that you have to be careful of and be aware of, not letting him hurt you.
It is understood that you have to just kind of get through him and get to the rest of the lineup. That is the central message for Ian Anderson. Now, when it comes to our Braves lineup, 1 through 9 there, Michael Harris II had some struggles. He skidded going into the All-Star break, but we've talked about how rookies may need a time to reset, and it feels like the All-Star break was just that for him.
I love the fact that he got the break at the right time. And, yeah, I'll forget about the Shohei Ohtani first 2 at-bats. He punched out on him. Then gets a base hit to finish his day off in Game 1. 2 hits yesterday. Hit 2 balls, 109 miles per hour. A big single in the 3rd inning that scored 2 runs as well. That was a 2-strike slider. So he's doing a good job of getting things done when he needs to get them done, even if he does struggle a little bit. But I think that break for the All-Star was a good thing for him to kind of regroup and get back on track.
We're going to continue taking you right up to first pitch here between the Braves and Angels. And after that, make sure you stick around on Bally Sports. Joining us later tonight, 6 Eastern, to watch the Atlanta Dream battle the Seattle Storm right here on Bally Sports Southeast. We'll be back after this.
Hi, friends. I'm Chip Carey. In between innings for...
It's the ultimate power hour. Quick Pitch takes you around the league.
Things are heating up.
For every must-see moment from the majors.
The defending champs are doing what they do best.
Quick Pitch, late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network.
Braves Live is brought to you by your local Ford dealer and by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Trevor Scales, Nick Green here with you ahead of the series finale between the Los Angeles Angels and your Atlanta Braves. Nick, let's go ahead and get the people what they want, your Ford key to the game.
I've got to look at this Braves offense second time through the order. One guy's seen Detmers, that's Matt Olson, 1 for 2 with a home run. Detmers has a sneaky fastball, a good slider, so it might take them 1 time through the order to really figure him out.
Adam Duvall officially out on the 10-day IL with a sprained left wrist. Guillermo Heredia out and left for him. Chip Carey, Brian Jordan, Paul Bird, and Kelly Kroll on the call on the other side.
So...
Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast, the heart of the fan.
After a 4-day midsummer's break, the Braves have returned just as hot as before. Friday night, showtime was go time for the Braves bats. Saturday, Kyle Wright dominated the Halos. And now the Braves are just a half game out of first. The Eastern race is tighter than Paul Bird's shirt. A Sunday sweep is at hand. The Braves and Angels are next on Valley Sports. World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. Another packed house on a spectacular Sunday afternoon here in Atlanta, Georgia.
The Braves hosting the LA Angels, looking for a 3-game sweep, and perhaps with some help in New York, they could leave town in first place. Hi again, everybody. Chip Carey, Brian Jordan, and a properly attired Paul Bird. Great to be with you for this series finale against the Angels. Birdie, the Braves just a half game back after winning the first 2 games of the series. They are looking indeed like a team that could repeat as world champs right now.
They have been phenomenal, and it's not just the hitting or the pitching, it's everything. The Tina Turner song, The Best, that's the Braves. Simply the best, better than all the rest. Check it out. How about those numbers? Again, it's not just the hitting, it's not just the pitching, it's all of it clicking together. And when you got that going, that's the kind of record you're going to have. And the Mets, I don't want to say in trouble, but the Braves are right behind them.
And one of the big reasons, Austin Riley putting the team on his back, returning to form, just as we saw last year where he just dominated in the second half. Look at the ranks right there. Look at the OPS, 939. He is getting it done. That's my MVP so far. I know it's going to be tough. Goldsmith's having a good year. But Austin Riley, if he can continue on this pace, he has a great chance of winning the MVP this year.
Well, let's see if the Braves can wrap up a 3-game sweep against the LA Angels. Ian Anderson is on the mound for Atlanta. The Braves only a half game back in a very tight National League Eastern Division race. Great to have you with us. Kelly Kroll will be along in just a few minutes. The series finale, Braves and Angels baseball, is coming up after the break.
Baseball's biggest moments are live on MLB Big Inning. MLB.tv's nightly show takes you from game to game for all the grand slams, no-hitters, walk-offs, and more as they happen.
Wow, he can do it all!
Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel.
This is some kind of awesome.
After your game ends, the action's just heating up on MLB Big Inning. Every night on MLB.tv.
Here at Truist Park, looking to complete a 3-game series sweep. Anderson 8-5 on the year, Paul Bird, but his last couple of starts, he's looking more like himself in rotation for Atlanta.
You got it, Chip, and at the right time. He has been excellent lately. Opponents only hitting 105 versus that changeup with 2 strikes. There you see all the numbers. He has been outstanding in the month of June. Look at that ERA, 2-0, 2.30. He's been excellent.
So there is Ian's line for the 2022 season. Most encouragingly, a 2.30 ERA in his last 3 starts. Controlling bases on balls has been the problem for Anderson. Hopefully he can solve that against an anemic Angels offense. Their Toyota starting lineup features Shohei Ohtani at the top. Hasn't been an awful lot of production from the rest of their hitters in this series. That'll be key, I would think, Brian. Limit your self-inflicted damage to Phil Nevin's struggling ball club.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what the Braves have been doing, playing great defense. The pitchers getting it done. Not a lot of mistakes out of this Braves ball club. That's why they are winning.
So Shohei Ohtani leads off for the Angels. And we are underway. 1 ball, no strikes. 88 degrees in Atlanta at first pitch.
Ian has never faced the Angels. Villar is the only player he has pitched against, so it's going to be tough first time through to see that changeup, see that fastball.
And he's missed with 3 fastballs to start the game. 3 balls, no strikes. Ian Anderson with 45 walks this year in 92 innings. And Ohtani had the green light. It's 3-1.
How about that, BJ? Your leadoff hitter 3-0. Coming out of the gate swinging.
Hey, you already got 20 home runs. Why not? He's been most of the Angels' offense all year long.
That found the mark, and it's a full count. Ohtani has 20 home runs on the year. And now he's got a sore foot.
Wow, that did not look good.
Ohtani hails from Japan, but the universal language of a shin burger is understood by everyone in baseball. That got him flush.
Well, the positive, he got hit by Charlie Morton in the other foot, so took this one off the shin.
Phil Nevin can ill afford to lose Shohei Ohtani. The Angels are still without Mike Trout. And that ball driven toward left center. Heredia streaks over and makes the catch. And Ohtani's retired. Good comeback for Anderson. 1 out.
Great communication out there. Heredia had a beat on that ball. He was screaming at the great Michael Harris in center field. I have it. I haven't played it a lot. Let me get it.
Let me just tell you from experience, you can hear Heredia from everywhere.
And Guillermo looks to get a lot of playing time. The Braves sadly had to put Adam Duvall on the injured list. Remember, he came out of the game with a sore wrist last night. The wrist is now sprained, so Adam lost for the next 10 days. So Mike Ford was brought up from AAA Gwinnett and is available in a pinch today. This is Taylor Ward. Ward has a couple of hits in the series and is batting .285.
Wow, this is the perfect weather to play in if you're a player. 88 degrees. It's a little humid. The ball will travel. Guy's got to be chomping at the bit to get up there to hit the day.
I got to say, though, BJ, I played for the Angels for 1 year, and it's always a perfect 70 degrees. So these guys are experiencing the Georgia humidity.
Fouled away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It won't get any easier weather-wise for the Angels after this game. They head to the always balmy climate of Kansas City, Missouri to take on the Royals in a 3-game set. Anderson has a 2-2 count. Another shot smoked toward left center. Heredia flying near that wall. He leaps up and he cannot get it. It's a home run for Taylor Ward. And the Angels strike first in the first. It's 1-0.
Well, I just think I jinxed us. That ball traveled in that humidity. Taylor Ward did not miss that pitch.
You see the changeup down. He went down and got it. And you are correct, BJ. The ball is jumping.
So into the first row of the seats in left center. Ward has 13 home runs. And LA strikes first. And now a bunt from Jared Walsh. The Braves in a shift. Smart play by Walsh. He bunts for a single with 1 out.
And look, if I'm Phil Nevin, I'm smiling over there. We got to find a way to get on base, score runs, wide open. And this is a guy who got 3 hits yesterday, a couple of doubles, hit the ball really hard, just adding to his game.
And if you want to stop the shift, just keep doing that.
Right.
So Anderson gives up back-to-back hits. Luis Rengifo is the second baseman today. Rengifo 2 for 7 so far in the series.
To me, if guys do that, if he pushes that a little harder, that's a double down the line. You got Heredia playing back and Swanson all the way over. It's a long run.
The Angels have scored 4 runs in this series now, 3 of them on home runs, and this ball is guided through the right side for a hit. And it's 3 straight knocks for the Angels, who have 2 aboard, leading by a run, and Max Stassi, the catcher, coming up.
Down on the ground, just found a hole. Another one of those. Maybe we get a double play.
Max Stassi, 1 for 3 in the series. Lined into center field. Another hit. Another run will score. Streaking around and heading to third is Rengifo. The ball caught off. 2-0.
Well, I think this offense had a strategy. Wait for the changeup. Ball up in the zone. And these guys are not missing it.
Yeah, everything's been up for Ian. Fastball's been up. Changeup's been up. And LA is up. 2-0 on 4 hits. And Joe Adell, the batter.
This is where you can mix in that curveball if you feel like they're sitting either one.
A strike, but up in the zone.
All right, Paul, you're on the mound. You're throwing a lot of changeups. They're hitting them. What's your strategy now?
Well, first thing I worry about is why are they hitting him? Is it in a bad location, or is not have the good rotation on it? And then I make the choice on whether or not to change there. But if somebody's keyed in or even swinging early, I go into instant 0-2 mode where I'm trying to hit the corners. I'm throwing breaking balls. I'm trying to stay out of that middle if I feel like they're swinging early. Now he's gone back to the fastball, and
seems like he can't get the ball down, Birdie. It's just something small he has to adjust. Or is that tough to adjust right now?
Little pop into shallow right. Acuna broke back. Coming in, can't make the play. Tried to deke the runner, who will score standing up from third. Rengifo comes in. It's 5 straight hits for the Angels, and they lead 3-0.
You see Cranny going out to the mound right now, just trying to calm everything down. This has happened really quick, and yes, you're right, the ball is up, but Ian pitches a lot up in the zone with the high fastball, and he usually throws the changeup down. But right now they're on everything. So I'd like to see him switch it up, go to the curveball, do something different, throw some fastballs down in the zone.
Has he thrown any curveballs yet?
Haven't seen
it, no.
So Anderson is down 3. He's thrown 20 pitches in this first inning. The Angels have 5 consecutive hits. So 1 curveball. And the same is true for Ian Anderson that we've spoken of the first 2 games of this series. Remember, Ian hasn't pitched in 9 days due to the All-Star break. He's in a world of trouble now with 2 runners aboard and his former teammate Phil Gosselin digging in.
There's a curve right there. Mix in a few more of those. Better location. Do something different. And look, we showed you the numbers. Ian's been incredibly hot.
Well, it's pretty obvious what Kranich told him. Get the ball down in the zone. That's 2 balls down in the zone.
More strikes than balls for Anderson, but 5 of those strikes are hits. And Gosselin bangs that foul. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He's going to have to get that ball down, get that ground ball, hopefully double play, get out of this inning.
Ian's had 9 double plays turned behind him. Number 10 here would be nice.
See Contreras doing a little coaching right there, telling him to stay on line, front shoulder, keep that closed. Sometimes early in the game, we've seen it with many starting pitchers where they have trouble settling in. Got to stay on track with your mechanics, all momentum going towards home plate.
Bases are loaded. So the Angels, who have struggled so mightily with runners in scoring position, who have struggled so mightily to score runs, already have a big inning leading 3-0, and Brandon Marsh will stand in the box. Marsh, a left-handed hitter. There's a good start. No balls, 1 strike to Marsh. 8 homers, 35 driven in for the LA center fielder. One ball, 1 strike. Now can he finish off the 8th place hitter for the Angels?
Got to come back with that changeup down in the zone. I think if he does that, a good chance to get a ground ball at least.
One ball, 2 strikes. On the ground, Olsen backhand, second base 1. The return throw to first will not be in time. Marsh hits into a force play. Max Stassi scores, and it's a 4-0 Angels lead. RBI number 36 for Marsh.
Marsh can run. You see him get down the line. Almost wonder if Olsen could have gone home right there. After already giving up 3, you don't want to get down too far, but he's thinking double play up the middle all the way. Just no chance.
Yeah, and you're right. You got to know your base runners ahead of time. Marsh with that speed, tough to double up.
So here's Velasquez, the 9th place hitter. Andrew is hitless in the series, and that one ticks off Riley's glove. Another run will score. Joe Adell comes in. It's 5-0. And Ian Anderson's about to make his 30th pitch. We'll await the scoring.
Didn't see this coming, Paul.
I didn't either. You know, I said before, the Angels haven't faced him. And most teams really have trouble picking up on Ian's fastball up in the zone. It's very sneaky. He's got a great changeup. First time you see that. Most hitters foul balls off. They have trouble with the timing and squaring it up. And for whatever reason, he doesn't have the mojo today. And the Angels are squaring up everything.
The bullpen starts working for the Braves as Anderson now has to try to retire Shohei Ohtani, who's up for the 2nd time in this 1st inning.
And that's a scary thought. One of the best hitters in the game facing you a 2nd time. Gets a chance to see it again.
5 runs on 6 hits. Sharply hit. Dansby, a leaping grab. Ian Anderson needed that. The Braves have a red-hot offense. They've got their hands full, down 5 coming up for the first time.
The search for high-quality meat ends here. With ButcherBox, you get 100% grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Sourced from partners who believe in doing things the right way. Together, we can make a difference, one meal at a time. Join ButcherBox now and get free bacon for the life of your membership.
At Boll & Branch, we don't make bedding like everyone else. We make it better. We prioritize thread quality, not thread count. We source the finest 100% organic cotton to make the softest, most luxurious fabrics on earth. We're free from toxins, the way home should be. Boll & Branch is made different, so you can sleep better at night. Experience the difference at bollandbranch.com.
Has been red hot. Best team in Major League Baseball since June the 1st. Braves also #1 in runs and homers. Month of July, and Ronald Acuna Jr. will lead off things for the Braves on their Toyota starting lineup. Hottest hitters on the planet, Matt Olson and Austin Riley. They'll take aim at Reid Detmers, a young lefty, for the Halos here in Game 3 of the series. So what are the forward keys, Mr. Jordan, for the Braves to get back in this game and complete the sweep?
Well, now I'm going all offense, guys. Get ready, stay ready. And this is the offense that can get it done. Yeah, you're down 5 runs in this first inning, a lot of game left. If the Braves continue their approach, be patient off of Detmer, who's been struggling a little bit, get in hitters counts. And with this weather, guys, we may see some long balls by this Braves offense.
So Ronald Acuna Jr. leads off against Detmers, the #1 Angels prospect and the #1 left-handed pitching prospect in the major leagues.
Pretty strong credentials. You see the numbers. Youngest player to ever throw a no-hitter in Angels history. That went down on May 10th against the Rays. Very sneaky fastball. Saw him pitch in college, and a high spin rate guy, so forget about the radar gun. It gets on you. It's very deceptive, and that's why you see him throw it most of the time. Also very good curveball, slider, change.
Scorched toward third and right at Phil Gosselin, who stayed with it. Nice play. And there's out #1. Gosselin getting the start at third for the Angels today. They designated Jonathan Villar for assignment after a rough night last night. So Acuna's retired. Here's Dansby Swanson.
Well, the only numbers I recognize out of Detmer after that no-hitter, 8 straight losses. So you know that has to be on the back of his mind with a 5-0 lead. He wants to be perfect.
This kid was originally drafted by the Braves out of high school. He was a 32nd round pick back in 2017. He bet on himself, went to college, to Paul's point, played at Louisville, and now here he is pitching in the big leagues with the Angels.
Oh, no wonder Paul likes him. Louisville.
The way you said it, I can tell you're not from there. But no, he was a very good pitching prospect at Louisville, and he's Dan McDonald turned that program around. Growing up in Louisville, if you went there, wasn't a top program. And way to go, coach. He's really put that program on the map. They have an excellent program and track record for developing players.
So
we used to just talk horse racing, Chip. Now we talk a little baseball in our state. How about that?
Nothing wrong with that. As you saw Max Stassia pitch before, try to steal a strike. That's why they brought him to the Angels. He's rumored to be an excellent pitch framer. So keep an eye on him as this game progresses in the early moments. Braves up for the first time, down 5-0. Dansby scored a run in 6 straight games for the Braves. Hope more to follow today. The pitch struck him out over the inside corner. Swanson with a look back at John Bacon, and Detmers has his first strikeout.
Good location right here. Ooh, that was a pick your poison right there if you're the umpire. That's too close to take though with 2 strikes.
Lefty slider up and in.
Matt Olson is the Braves hitter. And that bounces up. 1 ball, no strikes. Matt's red hot, 8-game hitting streak, 10 hits in that stretch. 5 of them are home runs. I was told, Paul, before the game that the reason Detmers got sent out, he was straight over the top with his delivery. The analytics folks thought that was a better path to success for him. It wasn't working for him. He went back to AAA, lowered his arm angle, and all of a sudden, since coming back, he's given up 2 earned runs in his last 12 innings.
You're exactly right. And here's my point. Why change a guy? You just told me he's a top prospect on the left side. Great pitchers had success. Why, based on analytics, change a guy to get more spin rate when he's super effective with his own arm angle? So you're right. He went back to doing what he used to do, and everything's back on track. Lowered that arm angle.
So he missed to Olson. Now Austin Riley is coming up. The Braves' third baseman is making a push for MVP consideration. With all due respect to Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals, the numbers Austin Riley is putting up are insanely good. 15-game hitting streak working entering today's play. And Riley with 28 home runs.
That's what I call the Michael Jordan zone. You're just seeing it so well. It's like a grapefruit coming at you. Riley in July, 423, 10 home runs and 20 RBIs. What a month so far.
So a couple of advantages for Detmers. Number 1, Braves haven't seen him. Number 2, he's pitching 3rd in line in the series. So, Paul, he's had 18 innings of scouting work to apply to this important start in Game 3.
And there's a couple guys I would say, okay, do this so we're here to get them out. And then Riley walks up. Good luck.
Swing and a miss. And it's a shutdown inning for Reid. Detmers. Matt Olson left stranded. And we head to the 2nd.
Karsten Sabathia trains in Win Reality.
I love it.
So Karsten hits in reality. He trains in Win Reality.
I'm glad I'm retired.
He hits in reality. Train in Win Reality. Win in reality. See infinite game speed pitches, work on timing, pitch recognition, and get more hits. Train new school. Hit old school. Be ready for real. Win reality.
With Home Chef, your home cooking is home nailing it. Our classic all-in-one meal kits are simple enough for anyone and delicious enough for everyone. When it comes to making dinner, fill in the blanks with Home Chef. Delicious, meet simple.
Get 16 free meals when you sign up at homechef.com.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too.
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Anderson the second time around. Big crowd here for the wrap-up of the series. Our Xfinity Live look cam zooms in as Ian Anderson misses high again to Taylor Ward, who hit a first-inning home run. The Angels sent 10 to the plate. 5 of them scored in the first. This one into the shift. Tricky hop. And Arcia handled that cleanly for out number 1.
Well, good to see Ian get the leadoff guy, Paul. But, you know, after having those extra days off, you come into your first inning back and you have a tough inning. How do you bounce back mentally, not just physically, mentally from that?
No, it's a great question. I think, BJ, you just realize that name on the front of your jersey is bigger than the name on the back. And you say, what can I do right now to help my team? And that's not burn the bullpen, even though they've had rest.
Back-to-back pitches, back-to-back groundouts. That's more like it. 2 outs.
But you want to get your team through the 5th, through the 6th after a disastrous first. It's not what you had planned coming back. You got to forget about that. You got to go back out and you got to start making your pitches. You don't try to throw the 6th or the 7th inning. In the 2nd inning, you make sure you take it pitch by pitch, out by out, and just like he's got 2 outs here on a few pitches, that's the way you help your team.
And you've got to bank on the fact that your offense can score 4 or 5 runs in the blink of an eye. They've shown that in this series. As Luis Rengifo is the batter. Rengifo singled and scored his first time up. The Braves start play today a half game behind the Mets. We won't have a score update during our game. The Mets play the Sunday night game. They're home with the Padres. The Mets have struggled to score runs. They've scored 10 times in their last 5 games. So go Padres, go.
And this is the normal reaction to Ian's changeup. The mishits, the foul balls, really hard to time up. That's why that first inning was so unusual.
Is there something mechanically, Paul, right now with him? Because everything is high.
I think he's back on track. I think he usually throws, for me, he throws up in the zone. And the changeup is down. So as a pitcher, I don't want to fall into a pattern because, you know, BJ, as you walk up to the plate, you're going to form your game plan. And if every fastball's up and every changeup's down and you don't throw a lot of breaking balls, then you're going to pick one. And that's when he has those 10, 12 pitch at bats where guys just foul the ball off. So I would love to see him mix all of his pitches up and down in the strike zone.
When it's really just 2 pitches and one of them isn't working, man, oh man, that's really, really tough to navigate your way through a lineup 2 or 3 times.
Especially when you're throwing so many non-competitive pitches.
On the ground, 3 ground outs for Anderson. Nice bounce back inning for him. Braves go back to work on offense. Ozuna, Contreras, and Arcia.
MLB Big Inning brings you the biggest plays of the night, live as they happen. Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel. It's nonstop action on MLB Big Inning every night on MLB.tv.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson, 13 home runs into the left field stand. Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw. Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
lefty is on the mound. With this Braves offense, you feel good about your scoring chances. A look inside the numbers today, fellas, brought to you by our friends at Hyundai.
Yeah, the Braves have been so successful against left-handers. Got a right-handed dominated lineup. Guys just getting it done. They're seeing the ball well from that side. 36 home runs. Hard hit rate, #1 in the National League. Those are the numbers I love to see. And that just tells me this Braves team never out of it.
I agree.
So Marcell Ozuna leads off the second for the Braves. Detmers gave up a walk in the first. Marcell had an RBI hit here last night. Ozuna hit an 8th inning home run in game 1. So a couple of RBIs in this series. And another good curveball.
Can't wait to see Ozuna getting one of those streaks where he is not missing anything. He's taking a lot of strikes. And when he's in that zone, he's swinging at everything. Especially that inside fastball, inside slider, which he is watching right now.
Make him work. 3 balls and a strike.
The offensive numbers we've shown you on the Braves are out of hand. First in the division, and that's happened without this guy being hot, without Ronald being hot, and without an Ozzie Albies.
Good swing there, but a little late. Full count. And to your point, Brian, about taking pitches. And Detmers has a big advantage. Only Matt Olson has seen him before head-to-head in a big league game. Marcell popped that ball up. Stassi over by the on-deck circle. That might have been ball 4. And he makes a basket catch to retire the Braves DH. 1 man out. Was taking pitches part of your game plan when you faced a big league pitcher in the box for the first time live?
You know what? It has a lot of going into that game, watching video, having a strategy. Like if he's a guy that, starts out with that strike 1 fastball, yeah, I'm going to go up there being aggressive. But if he's a guy that nibbles early and you can get in the hitter's count, then I'm going to go up there and be patient. I'm going to take some pitches. I'm going to see it. And then we're going to adjust as the game goes on.
All-star William Contreras, the hitter. That's upstairs.
That's why it's so important to sit in that dugout and watch what's going on. See if you can pick up on something before you get up to the plate.
Did you look at video and say, this guy reminds me of pitcher X? And if so, did that help you prepare for that at bat?
Yes, no doubt about that. And a lot of times your hitting instructor will already watch video and will tell you who this guy reminds him of. So that will give you a clue before you even turn the video on.
That paints the inside corner.
Before you faced me, did you watch video of Roger Clemens?
Absolutely not. I was trying to find those soft throwers.
2-2 pitch is tapped up the middle. Rengifo's got it, and that's out number 2. Orlando Arcia is the hitter. He has 1 hit in the series, and it was unforgettable. That mammoth back-breaking 3-run homer off Shohei Ohtani here on Friday night.
Talking about making adjustments. Ohtani striking out Arcia twice on that curveball. And he was waiting for his 3rd at bat and hit a 3-run bomb.
Right now, this guy's effectively wild. He's thrown 30 pitches, 14 balls, and only 1 base runner. But he's got a plus fastball. Boy, that's got some movement. 95 miles an hour, and just like that, it's 0-2.
And Detmers not afraid to throw it. Four seam, 46% of the time it's coming at you.
And how about that swing? He's got his third strikeout, and the Braves are out in order in the second.
There's more to baseball than just the game.
Who's the biggest jokester in that clubhouse?
MLB Network's Off Base, the show that talks about baseball and everything around it.
The sky's the limit. That's why we love the sport.
Off Base, only on MLB Network.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stand. Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw. Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
First All-Star nod for Braves catcher and third for the backstop for the Cubs. And just in hearing William talk about the experience, all he could say was, this is so incredible. This is a dream come true for my brother and I, who, guys, he went back to how in Venezuela they were sneaking out of the house even though they weren't supposed to and playing at the time with just a stick and a plastic ball. But they could see themselves on this stage one day, but I think it really rang true when there they were in Hollywood together, the entire family, and both of them starting for the National League. Pretty incredible weekend, and I know experience for both of them.
Yeah, it was a great story, Kelly, and I love seeing the two of them on the red carpet. They look terrific. In fine fashion for the Cubs and Braves, respectively. As Ian Anderson back to work, he had an easy second inning. Here in the third, he's got Stassi, Adele, and Phil Gosselin coming up.
Nice changeup right there. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Wilson Contreras, just being honest. He started a brawl with us, and Tyler Flowers got in his face. He's very edgy and started some stuff with some other teams. And then we were out in Chicago. He put his arm around his brother William before a game, was talking about it, and he was crying, and he said, I didn't get to see my brother play since I had to leave Venezuela, and the last time I saw him play he was in Little League.
Yeah, that had to be special.
Yeah, he said I had to do what was best for my family, and just seeing the emotion come out of him, all of a sudden I was a big fan of the guy.
Rifled toward right center. Nobody's getting that. That's off the wall. Max Stassi heading for second. Here comes the throw. It's going to be close, and he's just in safely. What a throw. And Stassi slides in an instant ahead of the tag for a leadoff double.
Love the tag by Swanson. Man, he caught that ball. Quick tag. But a great play with Michael Harris, playing it off the wall perfectly, and then a perfect throw to second base. I think Stassi got in there, though.
The secret's out. Harris has got a cannon. High school pitcher. Low 90s. He's uncorked a few in the upper 90s this year. That was impressive.
So Joe Adele with an RBI chance. He provided a run-scoring hit in his first trip to the plate. LA with 5 runs on 7 hits, and we're in the third inning.
Thank you very much. Swinging that ball too right there, down in the zone.
Adele made a great bid for the U.S. Men's World Cup soccer team with a play in right field last night. Ball bounced off his chest into the second baseman's glove for an odd 9-4 out. As Ian gets him to check his swing and miss, and that's Anderson's first strikeout in today's game. 1 out.
Change up way down in the zone. Well, he went a little further than Riley.
That was a big play in the game last night. Riley looked to have swung, was given a free swing on the house, and he turned that into a 2-run homer last night. And a strike to Phil Gosselin, who walked in the Angels' first. LA trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. They've also lost 13 of their last 16 games. They were flying high early in the year. They were in first place. At one point, the Angels were 10 games over 500. They're 39-55 right now. Up again, 2 balls and a strike.
And that really blew me away because, you know, I'm a big fan of Joe Madden and his energy as a manager. And when they started out the season, I was like, watch out for the Angels in the West. And it's just like they just fell apart. I mean, you fall apart and slump a little bit, but nothing was going right for these guys.
Right. They've lost 38 of 50 games after that 10-over start. And it's not like Mike Trout has been hurt the whole time. He's injured now. But they've stopped hitting. They do not have a save since June 29th out of their bullpen. And the only 2 wins in their last 14 or 15 games have been when Shohei Ohtani has pitched. Gosselin pops this one up. And Arcia drifts back. Orlando is there. He's got that. And that's out number 2. So after a rough first inning, Anderson's pitching better. He's got 2 outs and Brandon Marsh.
If he can get out of this inning, I think that's going to give some momentum to this Braves offense. Leadoff double.
In case you missed our first 2 games, Brandon Marsh out of Buford down the street. Lost his father recently, came in the All-Star break and slept on his mom's couch. She's been at every game. Cool story. Also, BJ, wide receiver in high school, could have gone to college as a wide receiver, picked baseball because of the longevity.
Smart man. Smart man.
Runner at second, 2 balls, no strikes.
See, there's that good changeup from Ian now settling in. I know we were talking about location, but a lot of times he can miss with his spots, but his changeup's so good you get swings like that. In that first inning, we just didn't see that.
So it's 3-1 to the 8th place hitter for the Angels, Brandon Marsh. Andrew Velasquez is on deck. It's another walk. 2 of those for Anderson, who leads our league in bases on balls. And the inning continues. The pitches begin to pile up now as the 9th place hitter comes up. 2 on and 2 out.
You look at this lineup for the Angels, everybody's been on base except Ohtani.
We hope to keep it that way the rest of this game. He's on deck. Ian ahead. No balls. 2 strikes.
Angels on the year, 119 2-out RBIs. That ranks 29th in Major League Baseball.
They've got 1 today. As that darts off the plate, no swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down the middle. Velasquez took a high changeup, and the Angels strand a pair in the top of the 3rd inning.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game. Saturdays 10 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
Sports is brought to you by Truist. Kelly Kroll, Brian Jordan, Paul Bird, and Chip Carey with you from Atlanta. Long conversation with Rick Kranitz and Ian Anderson. Birdie, what do you think they're talking about?
Right now, I'm just looking at some of his arm actions and mannerisms. And they're talking mechanics, so he believes something's going on with Ian's mechanics. And that's a fine line, because in the game, you don't necessarily want somebody teaching you about mechanics, but you really don't want them to wait till the game's over and say, oh, you were doing this either. So I always wanted somebody to tell me if they saw something, and it had to be somebody that pitching coach or a catcher, somebody that knew me really well that I could trust. And then see if I could make the adjustment.
So we'll see how Ian does when he goes back out for the 4th inning. Here in the Braves' 3rd, Guillermo Heredia bats. Heredia playing in place of injured Adam Duvall, who, if you're just joining us, went to the injured list with a sprained wrist this morning. Heredia has had very little playing time with this set lineup for Atlanta, and a lineup that's played so well. This is Guillermo's first start since July 2nd.
Yeah, with the new DH guys, it's tough to crack this lineup, and Heredia, and having his numbers called, he is always ready, whether it's defensively in the outfield or with the injury to the ball, he gets an opportunity. Yesterday, he hit the ball pretty hard.
As we say so often, one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity in the big leagues. And Heredia fighting tough here.
And another one about Sands, stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And he is always ready. Heredia.
Five 0 Braves up in the 3rd inning. And the 1-2 pitch. Well, this kid's not afraid to throw inside, is he? When he does, they are close misses.
I love it.
Man, you got to be mad at the guy who tried to change his mechanics.
That's so frustrating.
And this is what I mean. Heredia hasn't played in a lot of games, taking these tough pitches. Now 3-2. Be ready to unload.
Driven toward the right field corner. Will that stay fair? It will not. Interesting stat on Heredia, who's again had so little playing time. Guillermo has 7 hits this year. 6 of them are extra base hits. And his bid for a 7th extra base hit curled just foul at the .325 mark.
Wow.
BJ, I know a lot of pinch hitters, when they hit 250, they're some of the best in the game. You just simply can't hit as well as when you see everyday pitching. When you come off the bench, what's the toughest pitch to hit? Fastball or breaking balls?
Breaking ball, because you got to recognize that spin, and sitting on the bench, it's pretty tough to recognize a spin. But the fastball, you know, it's all about timing, being ready for it. And I think right here with Detmer, expect the 4-seam fastball. And just as I say that, he throws a slider.
And that's what you do.
This will be a 9-pitch at bat at the very least for Heredia, as the Braves look to get the ball out of the infield for the first time here in the 3rd inning. Another ball scorched.
A little reverse psychology here. Detmer hasn't given up a hit yet.
I like it. Already thrown 1 no-hitter this year. No need to throw another.
Yeah, don't get greedy. As the fans try to get the wave going. Nobody on or out. The pitch. Pulled a string on him. Big slow curveball, and that's strikeout number 4 for Detmers.
Wow, what a good pitch here. 3-2 count. You went with 2 hard sliders, and then you slow it down with the big curveball. Great at bat, though. If the Braves start hitting, you're going to go back to that at bat and say, Heredia got it going. 10 pitch at bat there.
Michael Harris, a good series. And I think it's safe to say we're seeing the value of having 3 or 4 effective pitches when you're a starting pitcher. A lot of weapons to go to. And Detmers has used them all effectively to this point.
Hitters get used to the batting eye at home. A lot of times they will hit better at home than they are on the road. Harris at home hitting .290, on the road .287.
Little chopper out towards second. Rengifo's throw on the money. 2 outs. And back to the top we go. Ronald Acuna Jr. Still waiting for Ronald to heat up.
And look, guys, as a fan, you're sitting there saying, what's wrong with Acuna? Well, I'm going to tell you, nothing's wrong. Right now, he's just trying to get over that mental block of not returning after 9 months and being the same player when he left. It takes time. And then you see a young kid beside you like Michael Harris comes up, kind of steals your thunder a little bit, and you just put more pressure on yourself. But I know he's going to turn it around soon and be the guy that we expect.
Big hole right side for Ronald. As that's inside. 2-0. The pattern looks pretty obvious, Brian. They're keeping the ball in the inner half of this right-hand dominant Braves lineup. How do you get him off of that?
Well, we saw him cheat earlier in Miami against one of the best pitchers in the game. He's going to have to start cheating and turning on that inside pitch to where the strategy changes against him.
And with that in mind, the Angels shift on the left side of the infield. And Stassi tried to steal another strike. It's 3-1 for Ronald.
The metrics show that Stassi steals 3 to 4 pitches a game. Didn't steal that one. That was a ball.
Swing and a miss on the inner half. It's 3-2. Now the degree of difficulty for Detmers increases. He starts his second trip through the Braves lineup card. Got away with one there. Full count.
And I think, guys, that's the big difference right now in Acuna. He's a tick late on the fastball every time.
And a swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts for Detmers. Braves are out in order in the third. We go to inning number 4.
What can you expect from Butcher Box? 100% grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, heritage breed pork, and so much more. From farmers who believe in raising animals with care, with no antibiotics or added hormones, ever. All with free shipping right to your door. Together, we can make a difference, one meal at a time. Get free bacon for the life of your membership.
Nice. What? With the Game Time app, I'd pay 60% less than this guy. 60%? Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price. Download Game Time now. Nice shirt.
WBC take place September 10th through October 5th in Panama City, Panama, and Regensburg, Germany. For more information, visit worldbaseballclassic.com. The Angels got 5 runs in the first inning. They lead 5-0 after 3. And the top of the order greets Ian Anderson. Again, it's Shohei Ohtani up for the 3rd time in today's play. Everything up. 3 balls, no strikes.
He started out the game with Shohei 3-0. Came back and got him.
And then Ohtani didn't chase it. It's a 4-pitch walk. So Ohtani's aboard. And Taylor Ward, the hitter, he's homered and grounded out.
Braves bullpen will get going a little bit. Hitters hit .384, 3rd time through the lineup against Ian. Struggled a little bit today. See if he can bounce back and have a good inning here.
High curveball, called a strike for Ward, who's in an 0-1 count. I may be wrong, but it seems to me the scouting report when opponents are facing Ian Anderson, don't swing at the changeup. Don't swing at it.
Yeah. That's why it's so important he commands that fastball a lot better.
Spun a curveball in for a strike.
I would like to see him involve that pitch more, and he started to do that in the last month or so. And I think that can be a difference maker the rest of the way, is to involve that 3-pitch mix.
Runner goes, got a good jump, and that's smacked into center field, a base hit. The Angels will have him 1st and 3rd, and nobody out. So Ward has 2 hits. Jared Walsh is coming up.
Shohei took off right there. He had no chances of throwing him out. If you had questions about his speed, Shohei can get it done.
It's a big man too.
6'4" and runs like an Impala. So on instructions from the dugout, William Contreras and Dansby Swanson will meet on the mound. And buy some more time for the Braves bullpen. And I think that's going to be the end of the line after 74 pitches for Ian Anderson. Ryan Snitker's on his way out. So tough times for the Braves young right-hander. He will depart with runners at 1st and 3rd and down 5-0.
Looking for dinner made easy? Move over meal prep and make way for pre-chopped and pre-portioned ingredients. Hit the road hard to follow recipes and say hello to easy breezy meals. Peace out, pile of dishes, and welcome easy cleanup. Well, hello there, Home Chef. Home Chef oven ready meals. Pre-chopped and pre-portioned recipes without the prep or mess.
Get 16 free meals when you sign up at homechef.com.
Home Chef. Delicious meat simple.
They said optical shops weren't very inviting. So we, Warby Parker, created ones that were. They said prescription eyewear was too expensive. So we offered more affordable glasses, contacts, and eye exams. They said opticians weren't always friendly. So we hired only the friendliest and the most knowledgeable. And finally, they said the whole experience was just kind of unpleasant. So we set out to change that too. Visit a Warby Parker store and see for yourself.
Welcome to the Aura Sleep Lab. You need a bit more deep sleep. Getting enough.
Austin Riley fouls off this pitch, and look how Cameron Capers, the bat boy in the visiting dugout, taking a bit of spill here, trying to get out of the way of that ball. But boy, did he pop up, handle like a champ, the big smile, the fist bump from Phil Nevin, and you know good and well that was not the end of this at all. His clubby buddies having some fun this morning at his expense, laying down the crime scene tape. And you know he's a good sport when you see the big smile there, comes out, takes some photos. This is going to be all over his Facebook, Instagram pages, I'm sure of it. But Cameron Capers, man, he's never going to live that one down, is he, guys?
Nope. And you know what they say, if they're not messing with you, then they don't like you.
Exactly.
That was great. Great scene. Good work by the Braves visiting clubhouse staff. Tough day for Ian Anderson, who is knocked out here in the 4th inning, so Jackson Stevens will come on. Stevens has been a workhorse out of the Braves bullpen. He pitched here on Friday night, gave up a hit and struck out 2 in his 8th inning appearance.
How about that opponent average against on the fastball at 163? That is fantastic. Not a guy that throws 100, but a very effective fastball.
So, Paul, I got to ask you the question. You're the hitting coach. Are you concerned about Ian?
I mean, I just have to see more bad outings. He's been so good over the last month. So you can't be hot every time you go out there. And there's sometimes you're just going to have an outing. It doesn't matter what you do. You're going to give up 5 or 6 runs. Best in the game. They may give up 3 runs, but there's still outings where you just don't have it, and this may have been one of those. Now, if somebody falls into a pattern and they throw 2, 3, or 4 of those, then yes, I'm worried.
No balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Jackson Stevens gets the all-important first batter. The Braves bullpen has been awesome in the series. Now 11 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings worth of work.
That's a big strikeout coming out of the bullpen, man on first and third, no outs. Now all you got to do is entice this ground ball, get out of this inning.
Rengifo, though, a fast runner. Tough man to double up. First and third, 1 out now, and that's around the plate. For me, the biggest issue for Ian Anderson is he's just not been able to take the game through the 6th inning. This is now 6 straight starts where he hasn't pitched all that deeply into the ball game. He had a rough June. ERA approaching 7. As this ball is whacked into right field, a hit that'll score Ohtani. And heading to third is Ward. The throw is going to head into the camera well. So another run's going to score on the overthrow. Single RBI. Ohtani scores. The second run scores on an error.
And that's just not a good play by Ronald Acuna there. You got to keep the double play in order. He tries to make the great play, energize this team. And that's exactly what happens, guys, when you try to do too much. You make the mistake.
So 7 runs to Ian Anderson. Rengifo all the way around to third base. Angels have a touchdown lead on the Braves. And the infield comes in for Max Stassi, who's 2 for 2. And he delivers a fly ball to right. That'll chase Ronald back. And that'll be plenty deep enough to score Rengifo, and the Angels have scored 8 times. So what's so disappointing about the game for Ian Anderson personally, to Paul's point, July was off to a great start for him. No, he wasn't pitching deep into the game, but he'd only given up 4 total runs in those first 3 starts this month. So The All-Star break came at a real bad time for Anderson, who was on a nice pitching roll.
But something else you got to weigh into that, Chip, Paul, is this offense scores a lot of runs for him. You know, so things could really be different. I just don't like the inefficiency. And like you said, you got to get through 6 innings. You got to show some progress. And that's what concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, Anderson, the highest run-supported pitcher in the starting rotation for the Braves, who have gone 12-6 in games Ian has started. So, as we've said so often, many times it's not just how you pitch, but when you pitch. And unfortunately for Anderson, 5 in the first sealed his fate to this point in Game 3.
You see how Stevens, he's got a 2-seamer, he's got a 4-seamer, he's got a curve, he's got a slider, he's got a changeup coming out of the pen. Normally that's what you see out of a starter, and the guy coming in the pen has 2 dominant pitches. I think, and I've said this a number of times, the next step for Ian will be able to involve other pitches. He's got to pick something else up, and I think that will take him to the next level. He's very young, he's very talented, he's a World Series champion. We've seen him when he's very good, but he's going to have to make adjustments, I believe, to be the best version of Ian Anderson.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Stevens blows away Joe Adell, and that ends a 3-run Angels 4th.
The game is changing, and so are the shows that talk about it. MLB Network's Off Base.
What's going on, everyone?
A modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It doesn't get much better than sitting around and talking baseball.
Only on MLB Network.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson, 13 home runs into the left field stand. Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw. Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
To you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
We head to the bottom of the 4th inning in Atlanta. 8-0 Angels have the early lead. The World Champion Trophy Tour presented by Truist is making 151 stops across Braves country. And fans will be able to celebrate in South Carolina coming up in Anderson, Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head Island and more from July 27th through the 31st. See Braves.com/trophy tour for all the information. So, Paul, how do you handle a comeback? What's your phrase I like so much?
Well, I think it's how do you eat an elephant?
Yes.
Yes, one bite at a time.
So the first bite needs to be get a hit. Second bite needs to be get the ball out of the infield. And then third bite, hit some homers with men on base against Reid Detmers, who is pitching hitless baseball through 3 innings with 5 strikeouts. He is in, out, up, down, has all of his pitches at his command. Nothing for the Braves hitters to scratch off the possibilities list. There we go. There's a base hit. A 2-strike knock for Dansby Swanson.
Wow, he is just so good, guys, this year. It's fun to watch. Gets 2 strikes, doesn't panic, fastball away, goes right with the pitch. And that breaks up the no-no, guys, in the 4th inning.
There's that first bite.
There it is.
Right. Yeah, that's that first bite in the elephant.
BJ likes that too.
So Matt Olson, who walked his first time up prior to Swanson's hit, he was the lone Braves base runner. Interesting note on Matt Olson talking to the Angels people. You know where we were 2 years ago today?
I do not.
It was our first game during the COVID season of regular season baseball. The 60-game schedule. And Matt Olson, while playing for the Oakland A's, hit an extra inning home run against the Angels in that 2020 campaign. My, how time flies, and it's great to see the ballparks packed again, back live. As Detmers turns that loose, and it's fouled back, a ball and 2 strikes. And by packed, I mean Truist Park. Another sellout crowd today. Last night, the Braves zoomed past the 2 million mark in attendance after 53 home dates. So 28 more home games are left. A great shot for the Braves to draw 3 million customers. And boy, do we appreciate it. The players do too.
I mean, I love baseball. So passionate about it. I love the chess match between the pitcher and hitter. I can even get so excited and talk about it too much at times. But without fans, we could have the greatest game ever, and it just felt like a spring training game with nobody cheering for the home runs, listening to it clank in the seats. I'm out in right field with Kelly talking to Ronald Acuna Jr. in between innings.
Yeah, I mean, that had to be a tough time for players, really, to just motivate themselves to go out there and play. You're so used to playing in front of fans and letting the fans give you that energy.
He pulls that string again. Boy, that is a beautiful pitch. Big, slow Laredo curveball after everything being in the high 80s or low 90s.
But he's so deceiving, too, though. He's coming out like he's throwing a fastball, and all of a sudden it's a slow curveball. It's just an excellent pitch by him.
And Brian, I would imagine a hitter's eyes light up when they see that ball up.
You do. You try to swing extra hard.
So Austin Riley, the hitter, he struck out his first time up. Scorches that ball into left field. Riley extends his hitting streak. It's at 16 games in a row with a knock. He wasn't going to get to 2 strikes, and the Braves have a 4th inning threat. 2 are on, and 1 is out.
And that's what you have to do, guys. You go up there, be aggressive. You don't want to get into 2 strikes. You might see that big slow curveball or that fastball up and away. That's tough to handle. Riley is seeing the ball so well. Got in. Got the head of the bat out. Another hard hit ball by Riley.
114 miles an hour off the third baseman's bat. So here's a chance for Ozuna. He fought hard before popping out. So Marcel is 0 for 1. Nice stop by Stassi.
It would be nice to take a big bite of the elephant right now and get a 3-run bomb, get those 3 runs back.
Braves second in baseball in home runs with 151 of them. And over the tomahawk, too high, ball 2. So the Braves getting better looks at Detmers the 2nd time through the order.
And this year with men on, The Braves, 58 home runs. Opponents, only 27. Braves are leading the world in every category.
This one popped up into shallow left. Velasquez and Adele, and a near collision. But Adele handles the grab for out number 2.
Left fielder got to be yelling and calling that ball. That's an easy play for the left fielder. Get your shortstop out of the way. Young kid, scared to yell. This is your chance to shine.
Well, at least he used his glove that time, Brian.
Yes, he did. Not his collarbone.
Here's Contreras.
BJ, is it tough when you're calling a fly ball and the crowd's full and loud and yelling and you're looking up? And
well, that's why you got to keep yelling it. And a lot of the young guys like him out there, Adele, probably yelled it one time with all the crowd. No shortstop can't hear that. That's why you got to keep yelling. Get out of the way, wave your hands.
Yell like you're Heredia.
Yeah, Marcus Giles made that mistake with me. He kept coming back, and boy, I gave him a forearm shiver and caught the balls. Get out of the way, little man. It never happened again the rest of the year.
Probably only have to tell him once, right?
That's right.
You are a young player at home. Center field has priority over everyone, then the outfielders, shortstop second, then the corners, catcher, pitcher. Unfortunately, you were last on the totem pole to catch a fly ball.
Wait him out. 3-1. Just get the sense many pitches as Detmers has had to throw. He might get through 6. And you take your chances with their bullpen. But get a couple here and start sowing some seeds of doubt in that Angels dugout. Yeah, it's a big lead. This team is never out of it. The pitch. Strike. And the runners will go with a 3-2 count.
That's a good pitch by Detmer there. 3-1 count. Fastball in. Now, watch out for that slow curveball.
This is how the Braves have rattled off the best record in baseball since June 1. There was the breaking ball, and Contreras fought it off. Cameron, the bat boy, getting all kinds of props. He made it down the steps unscathed after he picked up a foul ball a moment ago. Great report from Kelly Kroll a couple of innings ago. Runners lead 3-2, 2 outs. And the pitch. It's upstairs, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Arcia's got a 3-run homer in this series. How about a grand slam right here?
On his homestand, 1 for 6, 3-run bomb. Let's see if he can guess right.
Late at 94.
And that fastball is sneaky.
Yeah, it is.
Got to make that adjustment and time it up.
Got a little rise to it, too.
Several of our broadcast colleagues have said he's Billy Wagner-esque with that left-handed delivery. 2 strikes. This again where the Braves have been awesome. They have the most 2-out RBIs in Major League Baseball. They had 5 such RBIs last night.
See if RC can just keep the line moving.
Billy Wagner saying, hey, guys, don't cheat me. Got to add 6 miles an hour if he was going to have my fastball.
That was one guy I did not like facing, Billy Wagner. And I love lefties, just not him.
Popped up. Curling into the stands. It's still 2-2. Here we go. Now he's got to throw a strike.
Biggest pitch of the game right here for Detmers. He's thrown a number of different pitches, full arsenal. Which one will he go with?
Arcia has to stay on that fastball.
Everybody will be moving as Detmers steps off.
Catcher has a sign for a shake, and if it's an obvious fastball count, they'll give you that sign for the shake to try and throw a little doubt in the hitter's mind that you may throw a breaking ball.
Runners go. Scorched to third. Gosselin's got it, and his toss across is in time. That ball off the bat at 106, but right to the former Brave, and the Braves are out of luck in the fourth.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson, 13 home runs into the left field stands. Here comes Roger Maris. Oh! There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star. This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Park, packed house for the finale of this brief homestand. Jackson Stevens is on in relief for the Braves, and the Atlanta bullpen has given Brian Snitker plenty of that. Here's how our Georgia Natural Gas impact players of the game.
How about that? Low ERA, that's first in the National League. You see the walks, hits, innings pitched. Second in the league. All other numbers are good. They don't give up the long ball. So there's plenty of reasons not to change the channel, not just the Braves offense, but this bullpen is very good too.
Phil Gosselin will lead off. He's walked and popped out. The Angels got him on waivers Monday. The Braves let him go to bring in Robinson Cano. And with Jonathan Villar DFA'd by the Angels and Anthony Rendon out due to wrist surgery, Phil Gosselin might get a chance to play every day for Los Angeles. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's made a nice play at third base. I needed him to kick that one, BJ.
Yeah, that ball was blasted. That's 2 nice plays at third base by Gosselin.
First final on the day is in. The Phillies lost again. The Cubs beat them 4-3.
Wow.
That's good news. The pitch. Braves will head to Philadelphia next. Open up a 3-game set tomorrow. Max Fried will make his second half debut for the Braves. First pitch at 7:05 from Citizens Bank Park. Our Braves live coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern Time. Strike 3 inside corner. Third strikeout for Jackson.
That was a good pitch by Jackson. He took a lot off of his curveball. A little 12-6, I think.
I like it, falling off to the left side. Not everybody can do that. Get that kind of spin with your body going in that direction, but he certainly did.
Did you guys catch the walk-up music for Brandon Marsh?
Is that Brady Bunch?
Yep. Figure out why?
Oh, Marcia?
Marsh.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Matthew Kaminsky goes deep into the well for Brandon Marsh's walk-up music
That
today.
took me a while. You got to be quick. You got to be culturally sound and probably a little older, too.
Two balls, no strikes. It's 3-0. So I mentioned that Phillies score. With their loss today, they are currently 8.5 games behind the Braves in third place in the East.
See if Jackson can come back from 3-0. Good fastball there.
It's 3-2. Smiley and Falter were the starting pitchers at the Bank Vault today. And the Cubs, I tell you what, they've helped the Braves out in recent times. Remember, they held the Mets down offensively right before the All-Star break. As that's outside, ball 4. And the Chicago Cubs, with their win today, just polished off the Phillies. That's 4 in a row for the Cubs. And here's Velasquez, an infield hit, RBI, and a strikeout. If you're just joining us on this beautiful Sunday, just past 3 o'clock Eastern Time, Ian Anderson started the day for the Braves. Got the first out and then struggled over the next 7 hitters. The Angels scored 5 first-inning runs and then tacked on 3 more in the 4th inning. The Braves offensively have been held down by Reid Detmers. Atlanta's first 2 hits came in the 4th inning against Phil Nevin's squad. And our score is 8-0 here in the 5th inning. Little chopper, that's going to stay foul. And Velasquez has an 0-2 count. time to swing and miss. Overpowering fastball from Jackson Stevens. 2 outs.
Nice fastball up in the zone, 94 miles an hour. We talked about that 163 average opponents against on the heater. It's mid-90s, but it plays up. Going to need it here.
Paul, as a pitcher, when you face a guy like Shohei Ohtani, you know, Jackson Stevenson, you got to feel good about it. You got to, I can get this guy out, right?
Always love to face the best. I love that pitch right there. Change. Ohtani hits fastball well, hits fastball up and in. As we've seen in this series, that's his nitro zone. So when Stevens has that good high fastball, doesn't mean that he can hit yours. You're still going to throw it and try and find out how he responds to your specific stuff.
Popped him up. Riley battling the sun, shielding his eyes with the glove, and he makes the one-handed catch. And that retires the side. We are halfway through Game 3 in Atlanta. Good work from Jackson Stevens.
If you think they're excited, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Be quiet, win ball games, then I'll shut up.
High Heat with Christopher Russo, only on MLB Network.
Thank you, MLB Tonight.
Thank you, MLB Tonight.
Thank you, MLB Tonight.
Thank you for showing that live look into my home run.
JD Martinez touches them all.
And the one where I made that game-saving play.
Was backed up, coming out, and he makes a grab.
Thank you for doing a breakdown of my swing.
Contact point is going to be more out front.
Thank you for all the StatCasts, the recaps, the analysis, and the highlights.
Thank you, MLB Tonight, for bringing fans closer to the game.
Giveaway when the Phillies are here August 2nd. The first 15,000 fans get an Eddie Rosario bobblehead commemorating his 2021 NLCS MVP honors presented by Delta Airlines. Get your tickets today. Check out all the other great giveaways at Braves.com/promos. Good
That's
work
Eddie.
for Jackson Stevens.
Super Rosario. God, how clutch was he last year?
I still can't get over that 5-pitch cycle. That's just amazing. That's one that I don't think anybody will break that record.
And a good thing your Ford keys for that game, Bryant, weren't be patient. Well, let's see what Heredia can start for the Braves. He struck out a 10-pitch at bat against Detmers in the 3rd inning. Make this kid work. Get that pitch count up. Get him out of the game. Get into the bullpen. Get a run or two across. There's still a lot of time left in this game. Little chopper. Down the line. Detmers throws to first. Throws it into right field. That's a young player's mistake. Instead of settling for one, he gave the Braves a second free base. Hit and an error.
You'll see he did not plant on this throw. Watch him get rid of it quickly. Really have to get under control, plant, and get a lot behind it.
And that's the key for Heredia. You don't have to hit it hard. Just hit it soft.
That's it. It's only his second single of the year. Everything else has been a double, triple, or homer. So great chance for the Braves with Harris up. And he slashes this ball to left. Adell going back to the warning track is there. And there's the first out.
That's a ball. If you know the speed of the left fielder running back like that, you try to get back to second, because you know when he catches it, his momentum is going to the fence. You steal that bag right there. Get in a scoring position. Well, better position at third base.
Already his first hit since June 7th has him at second base. And remember, that's not because Guillermo's been struggling. That's because he hasn't been able to get in the lineup. So Acuna bats. Ronald is 0 for 2 in the game and has 1 hit in his last 17 trips. No time like the present to change that.
Ronnie a little frustrated with that last call, change up off the plate. Can't let the umpire beat you. What I mean by that is can't spend time and sulk and pout. Got to get back in there. Get ready for the next one.
And you got to protect right here. 2 strikes. Anything close, you got to be hacking.
Action has begun in the Angels bullpen. Andrew Watts is the first reliever to warm the pitch. Smoked into left field. Adell on the run. Still coming. Dives and makes a great catch. That wasn't hit hard, and it hung up in the air long enough for Adell to get near the line and dive to take away a potential hit.
We saw a couple of good plays in the outfield by these young players called up from the minors. Dylan Thompson last night, and Adell getting it done for the Angels today.
So runner at second now, 2 outs. Dansby Swanson on the ground, tried to beat the shift, but Velasquez spoils that plan, and the Braves are out of luck in inning number 5. 8-0 Angels. We go to the 6th.
If you think they're excited, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Be quiet, win ball games, then I'll shut up or I'll shut up.
High Heat with Christopher Russo, only on MLB Network.
Every time he takes the field, he competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
Against the Phillies, that's Bailey Falter. That's Yan Gomes, who went deep right down the left field line at Citizens Bank Ballpark. And then another one. Cubs with 4 runs on 7 hits. They beat the Phillies 4-3. Cubs have won 4 games in a row. The Phillies now 8.5 games behind the Braves in the divisional race. And we'll see the Phillies head-to-head tomorrow. Our coverage starts on Bally Sports South at 6:30 Eastern Time. Max Fried and Ranger Suarez will tip it off, a battle of left-handers. All your Braves action on the Bally Sports app and presented by Truist. Jackson Stevens starts his 3rd inning of relief. He has struck out 4 men in his first 2 frames. He's got the 2 3-4 hitters coming up. Ward, Walsh, and Rengifo.
And how about that if you're Brian Snitker to have that luxury right here? Your starter only goes 3 innings, and you can bring in Jackson Stevens, who can give you 3 innings to save that bullpen.
And now you don't have to pinch hit for him.
I think it's safe to say Jackson has kind of turned into the Luke Jackson man in the Braves bullpen. Dropped down and missed with a curveball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hope Luke's doing well, coming back from Tommy John surgery. We've seen him in the dugout a time or 2 in recent times. And still waiting the return of Ozzie Albies, who had to have that surgically, well, the broken foot repaired surgically. Optimistically hoping for the end of August, maybe the first few days of September. No definitive timetable for the Braves second baseman. Off the end of the bat, cue shot. And Swanson, who's made just 1 error in his last 36 games, makes that play for out number 1. Jared Walsh, the hitter. First, a quick word from Zaxby's.
Fried chicken salad under 600 calories with the dressing? You better believe it. Only at Zaxby's.
Jared Walsh, entering play yesterday, was 4 for his prior 44. Walsh has 4 hits in his last 7 trips to the plate in this series, so he's beginning to heat up again. Maybe that home cooking is what's gotten him going. Former Georgia Bulldog and the pride of Peachtree Ridge High School. Man, oh man, is the state of Georgia blessed with great baseball talent.
Side note, Chip, his mom lives 1 mile away from this stadium.
Really?
How about that? That's why he's putting on a show.
On the ground, into the shift. Arcia, nice play. Great throw, and got his man. Shortstop arm at second base, and Arcia with a sliding stab. Walsh is robbed of a hit.
Continue to talk about Arcia's defense. He's getting it done. Makes it look so easy. Very smooth on the slide. Gets up and throws a bullet.
Strongest arm in the league at second base. That's a shortstop's arm. It's a cannon.
2 hits for Luis Rengifo. He's scored twice. He's knocked in a run. The bullpen continues to work for the Angels. Might be 5 and fly for Detmers with an 8-0 lead. Braves have 12 outs left. 0-2.
Paul, if Jackson Stephens get through this inning, maybe with 1 or 2 more pitches, you think he comes back?
Certainly can. His arm is trained as a starter, long man in the pen, so you can get a lot of length out of him. And again, multiple pitches, hasn't labored very much.
And look, he's throwing strikes. "31 strikes, only 12 balls.
4 strikeouts. He's got Rengifo set up, but missed upstairs. It's 2-2.
I know baseball pitchers play a lot of golf. They also play some chess and play a lot of cards too. Good strategist. I am told this is the best card player on the team, BJ.
Wow.
Watching you two on the team charter, you might want to recruit him. Full count.
I've got to give it up to the magician, Paul Byrd. I don't know how he does it. Every time he deals a hand, he always gets the best hand.
A lot of minor league bus trips, BJ. Sleight of hand.
Breaking ball is tattooed down the right field line, but that is curling foul. Jackson lost him. So Rengifo aboard for the 3rd time in the game. Second walk for Jackson Stephens. Max Stassi is coming up. Before he bats, here's a quick message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Stassi's had a productive day with 2 RBIs, 2 hits. Well, you mentioned this guy's skill as a pitch framer. I wonder how that's going to impact decision making for major league catchers and organizations if the automated strike zone comes into play. Don't have to worry about framing if the computer's going to do it. Foul back, 0-2.
What's your thoughts on that?
On the automated strike
Yes.
zone? Don't like it. I understand what's on the line. I love the human element of the game.
Me too.
I agree. Yes, it can be frustrating at times, but
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good recovery for Jackson Stephens, who has struck out 5 men through 3 innings. Matt Olson leads off next.
I got the mic today. I got the mic. You got the mic. I got the mic today.
Mom, I'm sorry if you hear anything that is said tonight. I apologize. I love you. I haven't talked to you in a few days.
Lo tuyo es rolling, olvídate de los fly. Dame los fly a mí, lo tuyo es para abajo. Le voy a decir a la gente que me ponga el micrófono todos los días. Claro.
MLB Big Inning brings you the biggest plays of the night, live as they happen. Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel. It's nonstop action on MLB Big Inning, every night on MLB.tv.
Delta Airlines. Keep climbing. And by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Home sixth inning coming up. Braves down 8-0. The Braves heart of the order's coming up. Matt Olson and Austin Riley will get things started. With that in mind, fellas, let's check out how the 3-4 hitters have done for the Braves. Our Discover matchup feature of the game.
Well, I would say what a great 1-2 punch, but I guess I got to say what a great 3-4 punch. These guys are getting it done. You know what? Pick your poison if you're a pitcher facing these guys. You know, Olson can beat you at any time. Look at the RBIs, 20 apiece. But more impressive with runners in scoring position, they are clutch.
How about Riley's OPS?
Well, how about the move by the Angels? Reid Detmers out of the game after 5 innings with an 8-0 lead. I don't know if anybody can pitch any better than he did against this sizzling hot Braves offense. He didn't allow a run in 5 innings, and now a native of Braves country, Andrew Wantz out of Holly Springs, North Carolina, takes over in the bottom of the 6th.
So Detmers comes out of the game after 5, which means he does not get a quality start.
But it did go deep enough to pick up the win, barring a big Braves comeback, and they're certainly capable of that.
And that's what's interesting. The quality start developed by sports writer John Lowe, 1985, while writing for the Philadelphia Inquirer. You have to throw 6 innings, 3 runs or less. Here's what I don't understand, because that's a mid-4 ERA, but you could throw 8 innings, BJ, 4 runs, and it's not a quality start. Can't figure that out. But anyways, that's the definition.
And Olson didn't get that. He swung over the top, and there's out number 1.
That was a late breaking slide in there to Matt Olson.
So Austin Riley's the hitter. Kelly, there's no hotter hitter in the major leagues. A 16-game hitting streak, the longest active such streak in the big leagues.
Without question. And he mentioned to me last night, you know, the All-Star game, being able to swing for a few days really kind of helped him stay in this rhythm, feeling good, not missing pitches right now, which he mentioned how huge that is. But guys, he was asked a lot about just when he first got up here versus now what he's doing better. And he really, BJ, we were talking about this earlier, mentioned that he's been able to make the in-game adjustments when pitchers are making adjustments against him. And he goes, you know, that day-to-day game plan, understanding what they're trying to do to me and not deviating essentially from that plan. And then we had a good conversation about that because I wanted you to expand sort of on what he meant by that.
Well, what he means is, and he will never tell you when he's hot. You never want to give your secrets away. But you know, he made some adjustments with his hands. Now he is relaxed and comfortable. And you get into this routine, especially when you're in a streak. You definitely want to stay in that same routine. I know it's a superstition to most, as we see him take strike 3 there. But he's a guy that's definitely matured as a hitter and understand what he has to do every single day as far as adjustments. That ball looked like it was off outside. But again, anything close to 2 strikes, you can't leave it in the umpire's hands. You got to be swinging.
That's 6 inches off, though. I'm struggling with that. What were you saying about that automated zone again?
No thanks. Marcell Ozuna hits with 2 outs. He's got to get something going offensively. This team has been so good at the plate all year long. They have not yet been blanked on their home turf. In 2022, they trail 8-0, have 3 hits. Detmers and Wantz now out of the Angels bullpen, and a roller to Gosselin. His throw is on line and true, and Wantz a 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th inning.
I hate when reality.
It's like the hitters know what I'm gonna throw every time.
It's cheating. It's not fair.
Hi, I'm retired MLB pitcher CC Sabathia, and pitchers across America are sad. If I was still pitching, I'd be sad too. But since I'm retired and my son Carson's a hitter, we love Win Reality.
Yeah, I train in here and get to see game speed pitches, work on my timing, and my pitch recognition. Plus, this pitcher doesn't get tired like...
Watch yourself.
The search for high-quality meat ends here. With ButcherBox, you get 100% grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Sourced from partners who believe in doing things the right way. Together, we can make a difference. One meal at a time. Join ButcherBox now and get free bacon for the life of your membership.
Presented by your local Hyundai dealers.
Beautiful day for driving a beautiful car like that on Hyundai Sunday from Atlanta. Fans all across the Southeast cooling off in the Battery. The Angels, to this point, have cooled off the Braves in this series. They lead 8-0. 5 of those runs came in the first inning. If you're just tuning in this afternoon, Jackson Stevens back to work. He's going to start his 4th inning of relief. He has thrown 3 innings. I don't know if he's gone past 3. We'll get that checked out by Dr. Know-How Galima. He's not done it this year for the Braves with 50 pitches. Maybe getting him stretched out.
This is huge for the bullpen, though.
Yes, it is. It's hot. Got a little lather going.
You're going into Philadelphia. You don't want to use a lot of bullpen guys. Yes, you were a little disappointed in Ian's performance today, but when Jackson can go out there and get you 4 innings, man, that saves the day.
Braves have their 27th home sellout today, 42,663.
It's been great to see the Angels. We talk about getting to see players we haven't gotten to see in a long time. Ohtani at the top of the list. Wish we would have seen Trout. We didn't. But talking to a lot of the Angels players, they get to see us as well. And they've been so impressed with the setup here, the stadium, how intimate it is. They say it feels like the fans are right on top of you.
Little chopper. Riley's got to hurry. Fast runner. Bare hand play. Can't make it. And Joe Adell has a soft single, his 2nd base hit of the game.
Just put it in play. You never know what's going to happen.
Oh, my goodness, BJ. Grown man hit that ball.
Oh, with a grown man with speed.
I don't think Riley had a play even if he would have come up clean.
No, no play at all.
He's really come a long way in making that play look so easy, and it's not. Chipper Jones was obviously so good at third base with that bare hand crossbody throw to first. As Phil Gosselin drives that one to center, and Michael will gather that in. No advance by Adell, who scampers back to first. And Gosselin is out number 1.
Michael Harris is just so smooth out there in center field. He kind of reminds me of Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones is just one of the smoothest, probably one of the, I would probably rank him 1 or 2 greatest center fielders. I mean, you got Ken Griffey Jr., who was really good defensively, but Andrew was right there with him.
Well, he's been a difference maker for sure for the Braves, who've won 36 of 50 games Harris has played since he came up from Double-A.
Matthew Kaminsky just played Werewolves of London. Can we guess why?
Maybe the beard.
You ought to play Charlie Blackmon's walk-up music.
Exactly.
Hope you'll stick around for the stretch. That's as always presented by our friends at GNG. Nick Green, Trevor Scales will preview the upcoming Phillies series with the Braves that kicks off tomorrow night. 2 night games, then a Wednesday afternoon game. Then we're home for Alumni weekend and the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Marsh, as I said earlier today, a standout wide receiver in Buford. Have a great football program. We said that being a wide receiver helped him track fly balls. Thought that was interesting. I'd never heard that before, BJ.
Well, you know what? That's why I was a good outfielder, because playing DB, you got to turn, break on the ball. You got to track it all the time. So take that, Brandon. DBs track better than the receivers.
Got to have better footwork too, going back side to side.
They just catch the ball better than we did. That's all.
And they hit a lot harder too. Two balls, 2 strikes. And this one is shot into shallow center. That's going to get down. Good play by Michael to get to it quickly. And Marsh has his first hit, but he's aboard for the 4th time in the game. And after 60 pitches, Jackson Stephens will come out. But this is an interesting situation. He could spot start. He's thrown 60 pitches. And if Ian Anderson's struggles are of concern, maybe we'll see Jackson Stephens in a starting assignment for the Braves coming up. Only time will tell. 8-0 Angels. Good work by Stephens.
By the GMC Sierra heavy-duty truck, and by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity.
Colin McHugh's going to take over here in the 7th for Jackson Stephens, who did a nice job this afternoon. And if you're wondering about that bullpen group and the night shift, if you will, could be getting some reinforcements soon. Kirby Yates, if you missed the game last night, he was in the dugout here with the Braves because Mississippi Braves had the night off. They'll be playing this afternoon here in about an hour. But in 2 innings of work, guys, he's had 4 strikeouts. And Snit was impressed because the other night he gave up a leadoff double and got out of the frame without any damage. So he bumped into him, and I actually saw Kirby too in the dugout. Big smile, and said he feels good physically, right, which is the biggest concern, and just a little rusty. Wish you would venture to guess about this time, but Braves the first out there of the or shouldn't say first out of the inning. What is it, guys? The sun's getting to me. Second out of the inning. There we go. Way to go, Colin McHugh. Okay, I'm going to pass it back up to you guys.
That was great. It's okay, Kelly. I would guess, guys, the next step for Yates would be back-to-back games, right? His natural pitching progression.
Yes. You at least want to do that once before you come up here and experience that. Not having a lot of turnaround. Shout out to Kelly Crow on that well. I can say from experience, about 150 effective velocity on the thermometer down there. BJ, it's hot. It is hot.
So Colin McHugh versus Ohtani, and that's up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Scorched out a play to the left. Again, we will see the Angels next year and every year thereafter, whether it's in Atlanta or Anaheim. It's so great that baseball is adopting a more NBA-styled schedule to better market the sport. But what a treat it's been to see this guy for the first time. The Angels in Atlanta for the first time in 8 years. We are so fortunate to get to talk and watch Major League Baseball games for our living. This is a guy I'd pay good money to go watch play.
Yep.
And they are here from not just around the Southeast, but around the world. For the Braves and Angels and Shohei Ohtani. He grounds this ball toward Olsen at first. Fast runner, race to the bag, and good work by Colin McHugh to get the Braves out of inning number 7. Jackson Stevens, a terrific job in relief for the Braves. 3 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, a couple of walks, and 5 strikeouts. He threw 60 pitches. That followed Ian Anderson. Colin McHugh gets 2 outs, and that sends us to the 7th inning stretch here in Atlanta. Capacity crowd will rise as one as our old pal Timothy Miller will make his way to the center of the diamond for another stirring rendition of God Bless America as the hard-charging Braves battle the Angels in Game 3 on a spectacular home Sunday.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
There's more to baseball than just the game.
Who's the biggest jokester in that clubhouse?
MLB Network's Off Base, the show that talks about baseball and everything around it.
The sky's the limit. That's why we love this sport.
Off Base, only on MLB Network.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stands. Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw. Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run. Mike Piazza. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch champions.
Series, that's always fun when we get up to Citizens Bank Park. The Braves are 4-3 this year against the Phillies and took the first series 2-1 the last time these clubs met at the Bank Vault. Home seventh, time to get busy. We got 9 outs left. It's an 8-0 score. William Contreras is the first Braves hitter. He grounded out and walked.
Well, Chip, I can't wait to get to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Cheesesteak sub.
Really?
Oh, some of the best.
What's your personal record for cheesesteaks in the physical?
Wow. When I played and went to Philadelphia, I had at least in the 3-game series, I would say 9.
9?
Yes. 3 a day.
My gosh. You're talking about track and fly balls?
That's why you work out so hard, Paul.
That is one of the treats for sure when we visit Philadelphia. The pitch is a little low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the defensive change for the Angels in the outfield. Marsh is in left. Magneuris Sierra is in center. That's out of play, foul. They just brought Sierra up after DFAing Jonathan VR. Three balls, 2 strikes. Mets play later tonight. They're the Sunday night game. The Padres have won the first 2 games of that series. Joe Musgrove and Carlos Carrasco will square off. That'll be an entertaining matchup. Oh, up and in, and that is ball 4. Good start for the Braves in the 7th. Contreras with some chin music. Walks for the 2nd time. And Orlando Arcia is coming up. But first, a quick word from Texas Pete.
Welcome to the tribe. The Texas Pete tried and true. Texas Pete, sauce like you mean it.
Arcia stung the ball his last time, but hit a 106-mile-an-hour ground ball at Phil Gosselin at third base to end a bases-loaded threat for the Braves. And he shoots this one toward right, and a running catch is made by Ward. And Arcia is retired for the first out.
Tell you what, this Angel outfield been making some plays. What a great jump by Taylor Ward out there to make that play. Read that ball perfectly off the bat.
Braves will bring on Eddie Rosario to pinch hit. Heredia went 1 for 2. Big cheer for the Braves outfielder and pinch hitter tonight, Eddie Rosario. He picked up an RBI hit in game 1. That was in the 7th inning.
That was off a good split by Ohtani as well.
He went down and got it.
Mm-hmm.
That's up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Michael Harris waits on deck. As Atlanta looking for a late rally. They've got 8 outs left.
Get a hit off the Ohtani slider. I'm bragging about that for a while. A split finger as well. What was the toughest pitch you hit?
It was the split.
Split?
Yeah, couldn't stand it.
Whose was the best?
Kurt Schilling by far. And it wasn't until I met Sean Green in LA. That's when I could figure out when Kurt Schilling was throwing that split. And I would never swing at it ever again.
Was he tipping?
Yes.
Really?
Oh,
what was the tell?
Sean Green could tell you everything. When he flares that glove over his head in the windup, he opens his glove up, split fingers coming. And I couldn't believe it. I went up to the plate and I saw him flare that glove up, and I'm like, oh, here it comes. And I just let it go. It was down in the zone. He had to throw me the fastball. Line shots all over the place.
Yeah.
No yayas. And you know the funny thing about it, when I got my first hit off of him, after striking out so many times on that split, he looked at me at first base because he knew I figured something out. Sean Green was the best of it. Oh my goodness.
He looked at you first and smiled at you, or what did he do? Schilling?
He looked at me, smiled at me, and was like, you figured something out, didn't you?
Nice stop by Max Stassi. Full count for Eddie Rosario, pinch hitting for the Braves in the home seventh. Beautiful day here in North Atlanta. A 27th home sellout this year for the Braves. But to this point, it has been all Angels. Smoke down the line, but off the net. We'll try again. Nice long at bat for Rosario after coming off the bench cold.
Yeah.
He's seen 8 pitches.
Which is a good sign. We talked about him coming off surgery in his eyes. Like he's progressing along really well.
Off the end of the bat and popped down the right field line. Can anybody catch up? Nope. It'll bounce harmlessly onto the warning track.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it looked like Taylor Ward gave up on that ball pretty early. He thought it was out of play. Never assume, Paul.
Shift on for Eddie. It's a 3-2 pitch again. And this one hit high in the air toward right, but the ballpark is going to hold it. Ward drifts back, makes the catch. Back to first is Contreras. And 2 men are out. Our Zaxby's indescribably good play is the man coming up next. Michael Harris. Look at where he ranks among National League rookies since the end of May.
Wow, it was so exciting to see him come up and what he did defensively right off the bat. And all of a sudden you're sitting there saying, wow, this guy's impressive. And then he starts swinging the bat really well. 8 home runs, 52 hits, and 10 stolen bases.
That's not since early April. Look at that. May 28th. Those numbers up there in hits and others.
So we've got Austin Riley in competition for the Most Valuable Player award. Michael Harris has to be in the Rookie of the Year conversation. You've got Kyle Wright, Max Reid in Cy Young consideration.
Don't forget Strada for the rookie.
Yeah, good point.
Yep.
No balls and a strike. Well, since I was talking to you, Brian, I wanted to talk about the hitter. If I was addressing Paul, it would have been Strider first. So,
yes.
But you're right. I think we tend to overlook Spencer as a starting pitcher, a man you see every 5th day instead of every day like Michael. Man, it's great when your organization has had a winning run like the Braves have had. And these players that are starring in their early days as major league players aren't just acquisitions, they're homegrown players.
Absolutely. Do not overlook Braves. Dana Brown, vice president of scouting, who drafted both Harris and Strider. As you said, Chip, impact players, homegrown.
And players who can handle the moment. You know, come up with maturity and learn on the fly. You know, not too many people can do that. And it says a lot about this organization, allowing their young guys to go out there and develop in the big leagues.
And it's different, too, than it was, say, in the 80s or even the early 90s when the Braves were just discovering their success. These guys are coming up and playing for a team that's expecting not just to win games, but win championships. There's even more pressure when they get the chance to get an everyday job or take a 5th spot in a starting rotation. It's not developing at the major league level. These guys are coming up and expected to deliver, and Harris has done just that. So Michael has a 7th inning hit that keeps in line with what his numbers have been. As the game goes on, his average is higher later.
Yeah, which is incredible. Just shows how baseball smart he is, how he makes adjustments every at bat. He notices how pitches are pitching him, and that 3rd time around, he's figured it out. I mean, that's impressive going the other way.
Yeah, how about that swing? He's been studying Tony Gwynn highlights. We've seen him pull. We've seen him launch. So when you can do both, hit the other way, take a nice easy swing, and you can let it eat and crush a ball to right field, that's tough to pitch to.
And you know, with young players, and I include myself, when I first came up, I started hitting the long ball right off the bat, and I started thinking the game is easy, and all of a sudden pitchers were adjusting off me, and I didn't know how to, hey, let me just shorten up and get base hits. No, I wanted to keep hitting the home runs. I struggled. And I saw that same thing in Michael Harris. He struggled a little bit after hitting all those home runs, but now he's adjusting back, taking his singles, going the other way. It's amazing to watch.
Two 2-0 for Acuna, who's 0 for 3 today. Scorched into left field. There's a base hit. Contreras around third. He's going to score. Harris is on his way to third. Nobody there to cover the bag. So the Braves have a run. And Acuna with a solid shot to left field picks up RBI number 23. Another 2-out RBI for the Braves offense.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about with Acuna. He's going to have to start cheating on that inside pitch. You see how he quickly opened up his shoulders, got some extension, dropped the head of that bat on the ball. Hopefully that'll get him going.
Well, Phil Nevin has seen the Braves erupt in a 7th inning in this series. Remember, a 7-run 7th in the series opener. Big part of the order coming up for the Braves. Even with an 8-1 lead, he's not taking any chances. He's going to take Wentz down, protecting an 8-1 lead with 2 outs here in Atlanta.
Evan Longoria, a guy last year who was one of the catalysts to a surprising Giants team.
Meet Evan Longoria. He's watching MLB Network.
Longo's hitting with big-time power. Still that
because that's what baseball fans do.
Here we go, Longo, 2022.
Baseball is brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
No shutout for the Angels in Atlanta. It's an 8-1 game. Ronald Acuna Jr.'s first RBI since July the 8th. Brings home William Contreras. And now Jose Quijada is on for Los Angeles. He missed a lot of time with an oblique strain. So only 17 games to this point for him. And who better to keep the inning going than Braves shortstop Dansby Swanson, who's been so good with 2 outs.
He's been excellent. Quijada almost 80% fastballs up in the zone. Change-ups to righties. That could be dangerous against Dansby, who likes the fastball. Let's see who wins.
Quijada broke in with the Marlins organization. They signed him 9 years ago. And that one buzzed the tower.
Well, this crowd's letting them know they don't like that.
First and third for Dansby, who's 1 for 3 in the game. And that got a little bit of everyone on the way by. Even count. Quijada personifies what the Angels are trying to do. They are searching everywhere to find quality pitching. One ball, one strike.
'92 looked like '99.
Little funky from the left side, kind of like Detmers.
Well, here's where Dansby shined. 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. On the ground, but into that shift. Tricky hop. And the long throw to first is in time. And that will retire the side. The Braves score 1, and we head to the 8th.
Join Kevin Millar and Steven Nelson on a quest for legends worthy of the sacred prize. It's unpredictable coverage that will have you on the edge of your seat. Join the adventure on Intentional Talk, only on MLB Network.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stands. Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw. Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Against Team Francoeur in the Alumni Home Run Derby Saturday at 5:30 Eastern on Bally Sports Southeast and the Bally Sports app. You can tell Ryan's actually wearing a properly sized shirt. And he's been working out and he's ready for the Home Run Derby coming up next weekend.
No doubt about it. You know, Jeff Francoeur talks so much trash, so I got to show him up once again. You know, last time we matched up, saw what happened. I rose to the occasion. The veterans, the older veterans. And Paul, hey, I expect some good pitches out of you, buddy. So we can
Four-seamers down the middle, up high.
Win it again. And I got Steve Avery on my team and Johnny Estrada. And I told him now that Estrada's on a winning team, he can beat his former manager of Francoeur.
Kenley Jansen, by the way, is in to pitch for the Braves. Needs a tune-up. It's been 8 days since Kenley's been on a big league mound. And Taylor Ward greets him with a line drive single to start the 8th inning. Now, our colleague Nick Green will also be catching. So Birdie and Greeny will be the battery in the home run derby. Nick, who do you like in this matchup? And remember, Jeff's not here to defend himself.
Well, I have to say, even though I love BJ and I know he's very competitive, I have to go with Jeff's team. And I talked to Andrew Jones about this earlier, and he said he's going to the cage this week. He's not going to have a performance like he did last time, so I feel like he's going to be very good. I know Jeff is going to be very good. And I hope Kelly Johnson can hit a softball. I don't know. I'd love to swing from the baseball perspective, but I don't know about softball. All I do know is I'll be behind the plate, and I'm rooting for Jeff Francoeur's team.
I'm done with you, Nick. You are cut from the team, buddy. And I can tell you this. I don't care how much Andrew Jones get in the cage. He need to be running laps and getting conditioned for this doggone competition, because last year on my team, I was riding on him. And after about 5 swings, he was breathing so hard. I was like, what is going on? So Jeff Francoeur did tell me this week he was just going to feed Andrew Jones a bunch of meat and water. That's it.
Well, I do question Paul's ability to pitch as well.
Whoa.
Because
Oh, my.
Yesterday we were on the field and I asked Paul if he was comfortable pitching, and he tells me, I don't know if I can throw a strike. So I don't know what he's going to end up doing, if he's going to be able to throw strikes or not. If he can't throw strikes, then we're going to have a problem.
Well, but I don't think you can catch Nick.
I don't have to catch it. I just have to get it back to the pitcher.
Reedy, I don't know what's going on right now. This is your worst take I've heard in 5 years.
Well, you guys are going on the road. I'm staying home, so that's the take.
Okay. I am a little nervous throwing underhanded. I'm just going to be honest. So
I do have a question, Greeny and Bird. Are you guys going to use PitchCom? Have you worked that out yet?
Well, Greeny high target down the middle every pitch.
Well, my wife's worried I'm going to get hit by a foul ball, so I'm going to be back as far as possible.
Oh, I hope I foul one off your forehead.
Oh, wow.
I could put a mask on. That might help.
You should. Definitely. Don't take any chances.
Wow. Angie likes Nick Green, the face.
She likes the face that I have right now, not the face that would be if I were to get hit.
You better cover it up then. I might just purposely let go of the bat too.
Oh, no. All right, I'll root for your team, BJ.
All right, thank you. There you go.
The Ozuna swing, the follow through.
Jared Walsh, the hitter. He singled and scored in the first. It was a bunt single after a Taylor Ward homer. Ward, by the way, after singling in the 8th inning, had to leave the game, so Dylan Thomas has pinch run for him. And the Angels in the 8th, who lead 8-1. As this ball is hit into the shift. Shovel pass to Riley. That was well turned, but safe. As Walsh beat the Rap at first. So 4-5 is the put out at second. Walsh at first on the force play, 1 out.
I love it. When Riley is playing shortstop, basically.
Yeah.
Trying to turn a double play.
You ordinarily would say Riley's the biggest shortstop in the league, but that's not the case. The kid in Pittsburgh's got him beat.
Oh, my.
Neil Cruz at 6'7".
You're seeing Riley's arm right there. Another pitcher in high school who could throw mid-90s, also possible first-round draft pick as a pitcher. And when he struggled in the minor leagues, our buddy Mike Soroka sat him down and said, I think it's time to give up the bat. I'm so glad Austin Riley didn't listen to him.
Fly ball by Rengifo into shallow right. He missed his pitch. And Ronald is there for the second out. Kelly, our chat about the home run derby notwithstanding, I understand you've got a question.
I do, guys. First of all, I could not miss out on this conversation. One, guys, I expect the interviews afterwards to be as good as this conversation right here. I need it to continue. Second of all, Bertie, I hear from the pitchers that you need full range of motion when you're out there, so I'm just curious the size of jersey you're going to go with.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, my gosh.
Because I hear the schmedium's really hard to like.
Let's just say this, Kelly. I'm not going to let BJ advise me on what size shirt to wear.
Great idea.
No more youth mediums.
Wow.
No more slim fits.
Fly ball by Max Stassi to right. Acuna's gone as far as he can in the corner. Got too close to the wall. Can't find the ball. It ricochets back toward the infield. A run is in, and Stassi is on his way to third. So Waddle had trouble judging that ball up against the fence. And the Angels had a run in the 8th inning. It's now 9-1.
Guys, in this situation, you got to get back to the wall first, then turn and try to make the catch. It looked like he was just jogging after the ball, like he could time it up, and then just lost it at the last second. If you get back to the wall, that's an easy play.
Did he lose that early?
I don't think.
Well, let me ask you this. Bright sunshine, and then right up against the wall, about 5 feet from the fence itself, it's shadow. Could he have lost the ball in that?
I don't think so, guys.
See?
I mean,
sunshine.
he's jogging.
Ooh.
That's what happens when you try to time it. If you get back to the wall, it's an easy play with his speed.
So it's 9-1 Angels. As this ball slashed down the line. Look, you don't really care about the end result for Kenley Jansen other than he comes out of this appearance feeling good, has his command, has his stuff. And it's been 8 days since he has pitched. That's why he's in an 8-1 game, low leverage situation. Get back in the swing of things, and if needed, be ready for game 1 Monday against the Phillies. That was close. Magneuris Sierra, former Cardinal. He was involved in one of those big deals with the Marlins. Now trying to make his way back with the Angels in Anaheim.
Well, you better get rid of the ball quick because he has some speed.
Didn't chase it. 3 balls and a strike.
Paul, let me ask you, as a pitcher, and you see a play down that line like that,
yes,
how much does that frustrate you?
You're frustrated. And I know he's in here getting work, but you don't want to give up a run.
Right, that's what I was going to say. That's an earned run on you.
If you don't have to. And it's not just about your personal stats, but playing the game, you're not ever excited about giving up a run. You know, especially on a ball that should have been caught. And I'm going to be interested in Ronnie's post-game comments if asked on what happened there.
Well, the ball bounced off the fence, bounced by him. He couldn't find it. It rolled back toward the infield. By the time Ronald picked it up, Stassi was on his way to third with a single, double, and a triple.
But if you see where that ball landed low.
Yeah.
I say if it was off the top of the wall and you try to make that jump, but you don't even have to jump on that ball if you get back to the wall right away.
Well, that's why I was wondering if he didn't see it early. We saw the end of the play. We didn't see it early. And I agree with you. If he would have got back to where he was supposed to be, it was an easy catch. May not have even had to jump. But we've seen him jump up against that wall and try and time it. And I'm just wondering if he didn't see it.
Sierra slaps at that ball to stay alive. Still 3-2. .15 pitches from Jansen. Sierra has seen 8 of them. And he's the 5th batter of the inning. The Angels with 9 runs on 13 hits. And Kenley strikes out Sierra, and that retires the side. Matt Olson, Austin Riley, and Marcell Ozuna coming up in the 8th.
And here are the first images.
Hello, everyone.
You don't have to leave the solar system to watch MLB Network. Just sign in with your TV provider info at MLBnetwork.com or through the MLB app. MLB Network, just about anywhere in the known universe.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stands. Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star. This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza!
The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Another crack at extending his hitting streak. Austin Riley already has moved his streak to 16 straight games with a hit. And Marcell Ozuna is coming up too on a beautiful Hyundai Sunday here at Truist Park. We're back here next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for Alumni Weekend. And the Arizona Diamondbacks will make their first visit. Another move to the bullpen. This is Jose Marte, who made his big league debut with the Angels last year. Another acquisition by Anaheim. They got him from the Giants at the trading deadline for Tony Watson, who helped San Francisco hold off the Dodgers in the National League Western race last year. Dylan Thomas stays in the game to play right. And Matt Olson, who is 0 for 2 with a walk, swings and misses. The old saying in life, Mama said there'd be days like this.
Yes.
Braves have played such great baseball. Today was just a rough start from the very beginning when the Angels scored 5 first-inning runs. They knocked Ian Anderson out after 3+. And Detmers, Wentz, Quijada, and now Marte have held the high-flying Braves hitters to 1 run and 5 hits in the series wrap-up today. Nothing wrong with this guy's arm. Pumped in at 97 miles an hour. Their closer, by the way, is Raisel Iglesias. Remember him? Might see him for the 9th inning. He needs some work. Down and in. It's a full count. Right off off his thumbs. He did a good job to get a piece of that.
Good action on an 88-mile-an-hour cutter after the 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Nice power arm right here.
Hey, there's a start. Matt Olson walks for the second time. And look, we still have the 8th and 9th. If the lineup card can get turned around, he might have another crack to hit in 9 straight games. And here's Austin Riley. During his 16-game hitting streak, leads the major league in hits, homers, and extra base hits. We've said it a million times and we'll continue to say it. The Braves don't always win, but they always seem to give you a finish. They've got 8 runs to make up, and they've got the heart of the order up with 6 outs left.
Paul, was that a changeup up in the zone at 90? Wow.
Late swing and out of play.
90-mile-an-hour changeup away, and then he comes in with a fastball down.
Yeah, small sample size. Almost looks like a cutter. But the best stuff I've seen all year was Ohtani. And the Braves put 6 on him. So we can certainly put a crooked number up here, then maybe another one. We shall see.
All help is appreciated. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Wow. This kid gets ahead of you and can't throw a strike after.
Throws 97, 98, and more balls than strikes.
Austin's going to be ready for this fastball.
Back-to-back walks. You want to know why pitching coaches have the tremors? Why they have gray hair? They lead 9-1, and a guy throwing 98 walks 2 in a row.
And managers for that. Phil Nevins over there saying, what else do we have to do?
And look, if it was easy, anybody can do it. It's obviously not. He's not trying to throw ball 4.
Right. Yeah.
But the rest of the infield for the Angels just went in to tell Marte, you've got an 8-run lead.
Sometimes when you're a young player, only 4 games with the Angels last year, we showed you the small sample size this year. You feel like you got impressed, do too much. And the next thing you know, you're trying to throw as hard as you can and you're missing your spots.
Well, you're getting a chance to pitch against the world champions too, so that makes you want to throw a little harder.
Oh, what a cut. Ozuna had a center cut cutter and fouled it back. It's 0-2. So again, Marte has gotten to 2 strikes. Let's see if Ozuna can work his way back.
You wish he had that one back.
Jammed him. Popped up toward right. Dylan Thomas is going to move near the line and makes the catch. And no advance by Olson, who's back at second. There's the first 8th inning out. And here's William Contreras. He's 0 for 1, has walked, and is the lone Brave to score in the game to this point.
I love to see Contreras get back on that hitting tear that he was on early on. Kind of opened up his stance up in Washington. And I talked to Sice about it. Now he's closed back down. He couldn't get to the outside pitch, being so open.
That's what I was going to ask you. What does that adjustment do for you at the plate?
And I don't know why he made that adjustment. Obviously, he was having trouble with the outside pitch. Well, the inside pitch. So he started opening up, thinking that's going to help him get to that inside pitch. And all of a sudden, pitches adjusted away, and he couldn't get to it. So now he's closed back up.
I don't understand that either. Almost every great hitter that I faced had a hole on the inside part of the plate. But they wanted to get extended. They wanted to get that ball out away from them, middle away. And when you made a mistake out there, they did not miss it.
And that's the frustrating part about this game. You think you got to make an adjustment when you really don't.
That one off Stassi's glove. Everybody moves up, and now it's a 3-0 count. It's an 8-run game, but Marte is spraying balls everywhere with this big lead. It was ruled a pass ball. He only missed his spot by 2.5 feet.
And at 99, yeah. The glove couldn't hold it.
That's a tough pass ball, in my opinion. 3 balls, no strikes.
My partner's making noises.
3-1 count. You got to be going for that one. Wow.
And he came back to strike out Contreras. 2 outs.
And that, Paul Bird, is why you can't miss that 3-1 fastball. Because now you don't know what he's going to throw.
87-mile-an-hour slider. Just took a little bit off, too. Threw it nice and easy.
So Orlando, the final hope in the Braves' 8th, 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. Arcia is 0 for 3 and swings the first one and pops it up. And after he slammed the bat, it almost ricocheted and hit him in the coconut. So the Braves couldn't take advantage of Marte's wildness, and we head to the 9th inning. It's a 9-1 score.
Get closer to the action.
You gotta be kidding me.
Closer to the big blast.
Way, way, way out of here.
Closer to the great grabs.
Took a home run away.
Closer to the jaw-dropping plays. With more highlights.
He struck him out.
More analysis.
You're going to see athleticism like you've never seen before.
And more live look-ins.
Wow!
Nobody gets you closer to the game every night. Only on MLB Network.
Before we tell you about Will Smith's season, let's step aside for a quick word from our friends at Truist.
Jessica was born to care. That's my best friend. She don't need no.
Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
Will Smith will face Gosselin, Marsh, and Velasquez in the top of the 9th inning. Game number 40 for the Braves veteran left-handed reliever Will Smith. After this at bat, I hope Phil Gosselin has a great second half with the Angels. Swings the first one, pops it towards second. And Arcia at the cut of the outfield grass hauls that in for out number 1.
I agree, Chip. Good guy. Knows his role. Has been to many different teams. Utility man. Hustles, works hard. Easy to pull for.
And I think he got a new elbow guard. Saw in the first game of the series he had his Braves elbow guard. But you're right. Good dude. Good player, and he's going to have a chance to get a lot of at bats, and who knows, maybe he'll have some value to a team down the stretch that wants to acquire him and get him back in a playoff opportunity. We'll see how that works out for Phil Gosselin. Here's Marsh. He's been on base 4 times today. He reached on a force play and drove in a run in the first. He's walked twice and singled once.
Marsh looking for a fastball there. It's the curve, but he's way out in front.
Will Smith, the 5th pitcher of the day for the Braves. The man who went longest was Jackson Stevens out of the bullpen. A very impressive 3 1/3 innings of 60 pitch relief. Colin McHugh got 2 outs. Kenley Jansen pitched for the first time in 8 days. And now Will Smith. He's out of the bullpen for the Braves. Second time he's pitched in this series. And he got Marsh to swing and miss. 2 outs. And Andrew Velasquez, the hitter.
Good slider right here. You see the dot on it. Looks like it's going to be middle of the way and disappears.
Two balls and a strike. In the Braves' 9th inning, Rosario Harris and Ronald Acuna Jr. will be coming up. Win or lose after this game, we jet off to Philadelphia for our second road date with the Phillies at Citizens Bank. This one on the ground. Dansby's got a 1-hopper. And Will Smith, a nice 1-2-3. Top of the 9th inning. Get your rally caps on. It's 9-1 Angels.
Every time he takes the field, he competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
We're back at the Bank Vault tomorrow night. Max Fried and Ranger Suarez, a battle of left-handers as a key Eastern Division battle ensues. First of 3 with the Fightin' Phillies. Our coverage tomorrow begins at 6:30 Eastern on Bally Sports South and the Bally Sports app. Braves baseball, as always, is presented by Truist. To the bottom of the 9th inning we go, and we'll get our first look at Raisel Iglesias. He's the closer for the Angels. And this is how you want to see an opposing team's closer. Maybe once in a series.
Once in a series, and in this situation, he's coming in with, what, an 8-run lead. Hopefully he'll let his guard down and the Braves will get hot, put some hits together.
And who better to do that than Eddie Rosario, who flied out after a lengthy sequence in his first at-bat in the 7th inning. Big sports day for us here on Bally Sports. Join us later at 6 o'clock for the Atlanta Dream. They battle the Seattle Storm here on Bally Sports Southeast. As Iglesias and Rosario tangle here in the 9th. There are so many needs that the Angels have. I wonder who's going to come a-calling for this guy.
Oh, you were reading my mind. I was just about to say that same thing. You know, you're trying to build a ball club. You're struggling this year. Doesn't look like they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, this is a valuable piece right here.
Well, we were wondering last night with the status of Shohei Ohtani, would they dare trading him? Published reports today as Rosario skies that one towards center. Sierra is going to catch it. Published reports said that Perry Manassian said we have no intention of trading Shohei Ohtani. Okay, so you understand that. Probably not going to trade Mike Trout either. So if you're going to improve your ball club and restock your system, which has been problematic, you're all of a sudden running out of options unless you consider this guy.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can even think about trading Ohtani. I mean, he's bringing revenue in that stadium every day. He's out there on the field. I think you almost have to look at Mike Trout. You know, he's been injured the last couple of years. And Mike, honestly, he wants to win. So I don't think he would probably deny trades. And I know he may have the power to do that.
Well, you have to give up something to get something. So we just showed you Syndergaard, this guy, big power arm, heavy run on that fastball.
And Syndergaard hasn't been the strikeout pitcher that he used to be, but he's getting ground balls, getting outs.
So I think the Angels will be a fascinating case study at the deadline. They have some highly coveted pieces that any team would like to have. But as you said, what are you getting? What are you giving up? And even in the near short term, will those deals make you better? And that's the first rule any general manager will tell you. I'll trade anybody if it makes my team better. But I think, to your point, Brian, in the case of Trout and Ohtani, those have big asterisks next to those names.
They do.
Do we know anybody over there?
In case you wondered about Mike Trout's contract status, he'll earn $35.45 million a year until the 2030 season.
That's okay.
Harris pops to third, and there's the second out. I think everybody wishes they were Mike Trout. When you hear those, hey, look, he's worth every penny of it
when he's healthy.
Yeah. We make that in the Braves gift shop every couple weeks. We'll be all right.
And to your point about maybe trading Trout, full no trade, we're told in his contract.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He would have the option.
Right.
Yeah, but I think he wants to go to a team at this point in his career where he's going to win.
Right.
And that's what's been said so often about Trout, a player who's been so transcendent in his generation of athletes, has had very little, if any, playoff experience and no success.
Yeah.
And again, for a sport that wants to showcase its great stars, what better place to do that than the postseason stage? And he and the rest of the Angels haven't been there in a while. So Perry Manassian has his hands full. Phil Nevin, the second manager this year, will head to Kansas City after dropping this series to the Braves. Atlanta will gather up and head to Philadelphia for a quick 3-game road trip starting tomorrow night, with the trading deadline August the 2nd. A strike to Acuna. The Braves down to their last strike and their last out. Iglesias, the 10th pitcher to work in today's game. And Ronald will see another offering. Can't wait for Alumni weekend coming up on Friday. The Diamondbacks will be here. That'll get us into the month of August, and that's when things will get very, very fun and interesting for the Braves.
And how about that, Chip? Last time we played the Diamondbacks, that was the series that really got us going.
A shot into right field for Acuna. He's got a 2-out hit. He's got hits in back-to-back at-bats in the game.
We left Arizona.
Yep.
Learned a lot. Went to Colorado, and that really got us jump-started and on our way. So good to see Arizona back. They did steal a game from us that last day.
Yeah, got Arizona for 3, the Phillies for 2. Then a hugely important road trip. 5 games at the Mets, 2 games at the Red Sox, and then 4 games in Miami before the Braves come home with 4 with the Mets again and 3 with the Astros. That is a tough schedule. But as we've seen with the Braves all year long, when the opposing talent is at its best, this team,
that's exactly right,
is at its best.
You talked about that series in Arizona. Some sloppy play. Brian Snitker had the meeting, gave the speech. This isn't us, fellas, and we took off from there. There he is.
35-11 are the Braves since the 1st of June. And that was the morning of that speech when the Braves knocked off Madison Bumgarner out west. Fly ball, shallow right, drifting out the second baseman, and the play made by Rengifo. And that's the ball game. The Angels salvage 1 of 3 in Atlanta. Your final, LA 9, Braves 1.
Yeah, disappointing start for Ian Anderson, only going 3 innings. They've up 7 earned runs with 3 walks. Not what I expected, Paul, out of him. But a long All-Star break, 10-game break for him. What do you do next?
Well, I just need him to bounce back, but you're excited at the fact that the Braves overall take the first series out of the All-Star break. You'd love to sweep. You didn't, but you took the series. You're chasing down the Mets. I can't wait for every series from here on out.
Well, you won't have to wait long because that next series starts tomorrow night. Behind Braves ace Max Reid, we will be in Philadelphia, as we told you. Ranger Suarez will pitch for the Phillies. Our coverage starts at 6:30 Eastern here on Bally Sports South. For Kelly Quill, Brian Jordan, Paul Bird, I'm Chip Carey. We thank you for joining us. 9-1 your final score. Stick around. Braves Live is next. It's presented by Xfinity. Trevor and Nick will wrap up this series and preview the Braves and Phillies after this timeout here on Bally Sports.